founded Focus on the Family in 1977 and later the James Dobson Family Institute. Dr. James Dobson, dead at the age of 89. Mountainous waves are crashing ashore along North Carolina's Outer Banks as Hurricane Erin churns northward a couple of 100 miles out in the Atlantic. Longtime Outer Banks resident Tom Newsom decided not to evacuate.
There is a big storm out there, but due to the proximity of the storm and how close it's going to be to shore here, I feel pretty confident that we're going to be all right as far as tide goes, whatnot.
Coastal Virginia also feeling Erin's fury. In the southwest, extreme heat is the issue.
There is potential for record high temperatures over the next few days, especially across parts of the western U.S. And interestingly enough, even though we do have potential for record high temperatures over the next few days, the potential for records is, especially with the nighttime minimum temperatures, potential is more widespread across the southwest and parts of the Great Basin.
Bob Oravec at the National Weather Service, also a risk of wildfires. Almost 600 drones and 40 missiles. Ukraine says that's what the Russians unleashed in their latest attack.
Rescuers evacuating people from a burning house in Ukraine's Sumy region Wednesday after another overnight drone barrage. Fire crews put to work as civilian areas were also hit in Odessa, while Russian strikes also targeted ports and fuel and energy infrastructure.
Correspondent Ben Thomas says the attack left at least one person dead, more than a dozen injured. Stock futures lower on Wall Street. More on these stories, townhall.com.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your really expensive limited edition sneakers and your new suit for your cousin's wedding. Except you never actually bought the suit because you can't stop buying sneakers. So you show up to the wedding looking like you're going grocery shopping. But hey, at least your sneakers will look good in the pictures, until you're cropped out of every last one of them. So go ahead and get Progressive, so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Everybody is keeping an eye on the Fed and how an interest rate cut might affect gold prices. Gold has been hovering at around $3,400 an ounce for the last 2 months and is poised for dramatic growth with the next interest rate cut. If you have a qualified IRA or 401k, you could receive up to $10,000 in free gold and silver when you open your retirement account with Advantage Gold. Call 800-900-8000 now or visit AdvantageGold.com and get your free gold IRA guide. Consult with your financial and tax professionals before making investment decisions. Call 800-900-8000.
President Trump is calling on a Federal Reserve governor to resign. She insists, though, that she will not step down.
The director of the agency that oversees mortgage giants Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac has urged the Justice Department to investigate Fed Governor Lisa Cook. The administration accuses her of committing mortgage fraud. Writing online, President Trump said Cook must resign now. The allegation is the administration's latest attack on the Fed, which has yet to cut its key interest rate as the president has demanded. Greg Clugston, the White House.
Brazil's federal police say messages found on the telephone of former President Bolsonaro show that he had once wanted to flee Argentina and request political asylum. Bolsonaro is awaiting a Supreme Court ruling about an alleged coup attempt, and now he learns that he might face another case. Police formally accused him of obstruction of justice in connection with his pending trial. News and analysis, townhall.com. One of the tallest non-redwood trees on the planet is burning.
It's a fire in a forest, but it's contained to one tree. It's called the Dorner fir. The Bureau of Land Management says an infrared drone flight made Tuesday detected heat in a cavity of its tree trunk some 280 feet up. Figuring out how to douse the smoldering cavity has been a challenge. Options discussed include building scaffolding or climbing adjacent trees, while a helicopter has been on standby in case a water drop's needed, and sprinklers are in place at the base of the tree. The cause of the fire is under investigation. I'm Ben Thomas.
Uganda has agreed to take deported illegal aliens from the U.S. provided they do not have criminal records and are not unaccompanied minors. The Foreign Affairs Ministry, though, says some details of the agreement still being finalized. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday
to you.
Yes, welcome to it.
Yeah, welcome to Thursday, the eve of the football.
The calm before the storm.
Yeah, the football fanaticism kicks up.
This is the kind of day, like the way it kind of started, kind of quiet. Everything was just kind of like, low. You start hearing that. Do, 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 do. It was a warm August morning. Football was about to begin in southeastern New Mexico.
Only thing it's missing, but we can't do it here, is dew on the grass.
Oh, yeah.
There would be none in southeast.
No.
But happy Thursday. Yes, football is upon us. Tomorrow night, Coyotes take to the field for the first time this season. Saturday night, the Goddard Rockets will take to the field in Portales.
In Portals.
We will have both games for you. The Roswell Coyotes right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM tomorrow night. Also live streaming video of the game, ksvptv.com. And, of course, that's a home game. So get your whole buttocks out to the Wool Bowl on Friday night.
You really want to confuse people. Yeah. Go out to the game and then turn on ksvptv.com and watch the broadcast. Because the broadcast will be on a slight delay.
It will.
So then whenever a good play happens, everybody else gets excited and you're sitting there watching your screen.
You wait till everyone else.
Right. Everybody's calmed down now.
And like a minute later.
Yeah!
Yes.
Really throw people off. It's not a minute. It's like 27 seconds.
That would be the move. And if we could get enough people to do that at the same time, that would be delightful.
That would be awesome.
That would be amazing.
People on the field would be so confused.
That would be so great to watch. That would be funny. Especially if you have like a couple hundred people doing it like later.
The guy makes that amazing 85-yard catch from like the other side of the field, runs it in for a touchdown, looks around. Everybody's just looking at their phones.
Guy's getting some water a minute later.
Freaks out.
That would be delightful. But yes, we will have the game on live streaming video, ksvptv.com. Of course, Saturday night, Portales will be hosting Goddard. That game we will have for you on our sister station on the radio, 106.1 FM Fierro. Live streaming video, ksvptv.com, and the Goddard Rocket channel there.
Yes, sir.
That's a Saturday night game, 6 p.m. kickoff, hour early, but a day later.
I wasn't paying close attention. Did you say Fierro again?
Did I? I did.
I think you did.
La Pantera.
Yeah,
my apologies. It's a lot of training.
It just caught the backside of my ear. I'm like, I think you did it again.
What's like? It's like
you've done it for years. I get it.
Yeah. It's kind of like your kids, and all of a sudden your kid says, "I'm David now." All right, Bob.
All right, David. Okay, Richie.
Sometimes I forget, but yes, so we'll have that for you. And of course, Bulldog fans will be they'll be playing tomorrow night. Big game against the Bad of Carl. They're going to Carlsbad, and
battle for Eddy County
up that elevator, and that game will be on our sister station. And we got our others at 990 AM KSVP from for radio, KSVPTV.com, and the Bulldog channel for video.
Yes. So. Absolutely. You touched on something back there that I think if you really want to have fun as a parent, name your child Robert.
Yeah.
Because you could call them something different every single day of their life.
Bobbert. Robbie.
Roberto. Just really mess with their heads. They get to school like, what's your name? I don't know.
Most of the time it ends in "ert."
Just open your mouth when the sound of a dolphin comes out. That's my name now.
Yeah. There's a lot of nicknames for the Roberts.
Mm-hmm. Will too, like Bill, William, Wilbert. You know.
Do you think it's like all that started, like how churches sometimes start? You know, like why there's like 6 Baptist churches in town, like the Second Baptist Church, because someone got mad and went to start another church.
Right.
Do you think there was like a team of Roberts that all went by Robert or Robbie, and they said, "I'm tired of these guys. We're gonna be Bobbert." Bobbert. Bobs. We're going to be Bobs. Come, Bobs.
We decided, we landed on Bob.
And then they begat, I mean, I wonder if that's how it started.
Well, just how do you land on the B for Bob? Like, why didn't they decide? Because, the name is Robert, so it's an R. I guess the B is close because you could round off. Like, how come Cobbert didn't take off?
Yeah.
Daubert.
Look,
Fobbert. I would love to have a kid name him Fobbert.
I blew my mind as a child trying to wrap my head around nicknames because yes, some of them logically go with the name. Michael, Mike.
Mikey.
I can wrap my head around
right.
that. I still have yet to figure out where Peggy comes from Margaret. Like that one's baffling me. And the Bobberts, the Bobs and Bobbies, where did that come from? And when did sometimes calling people named John, Jack be okay?
Right.
These are all these questions I've been pondering for probably 40 years.
That's completely understandable. My parents cursed me with a name that's not really nicknameable.
Yeah.
Because, Mikey sounds like a nicknamey nickname.
Mm-hmm.
Shawnee, it's insulting. There's only and I've said this before, there's only 3 people that are allowed to call me Shawnee.
Yeah.
And they're all women. They're all like the females in my life. But
and that's weirdly enough, the nickname is longer than the actual name. And that's a rule breaker. Like that's, to me, one of the rules of having a nickname, it's got to be shorter than the actual name. And so when you go from Sean to Shawnee, that breaks that rule.
Like T-Bird, for example, Thomas Beard, T-Bird. That's a little shorter.
Well, all right, let me caveat it. If you have a nickname based off your name.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. If you're being nicknamed because of an action or something of your aura, that's off. But if it's based solely off your name, then we have to be shorter than the
What's funny is most of the time when people try to nickname me, it almost always comes out Jonathan.
Jonathan.
Yeah, I get Jonathan a lot.
Yeah. I do it with my cats.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably confusing them half time because I'll call them like there's my one cat Hannah. I'll call her anything from Hannah Banana to just any combination thereof of that. Bella, I go anywhere from Bella to Bella Boo. What's up? And I'll put weird ends on last names like what's up Bellefson or
Bella Banana.
Yeah, and I do. So yeah, I get that. But
so yeah, the added nicknames are the only ones that really work with my name.
Yeah.
But then I always love when somebody's name, I have a buddy named James, and our thing has always been I'll walk in if I'm seeing him for the first time, I'll go, Jim.
Yeah. See, that's where you need to go, James.
Yeah, Jim.
Jonathan.
Tighten it up a little bit for you. And that's usually when it comes back to Jonathan.
Yeah, people feel the need to fancify up your name. Yeah, because it's so simple.
But then there's Scene. It's like, okay, I haven't heard that one before. Good job. Scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that's how it's spelled. But
I would like to go the Sayan.
Sayan. Sayon.
Sayon.
Sion.
That could be.
Sion.
I would go that. I would be people, hey, what's up, Sean? It's stay on, jerk. Stay on, jerk.
Well, that taps into something. I literally, like, we had a get together with some friends a while back. This is a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I got set off, and it wasn't even something anybody said, but I was just triggered by a thought. And that's that I cannot stand people who say croissant. Like, who refuse to say croissant.
Yep.
Just say croissant. It's right there.
Yep.
Or croissant, or however you want to say it. But it bugs me when somebody like just talking yada yada yada.
I mean, I get if you're French.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're not French. You're from Alamogordo.
Right. So, my kids and I, we love on Sundays. We go down to the bakery and we all get croissants.
Right.
What are you doing?
Right. You mean crescent rolls?
Right. It's that same thing of like when I go back home to Oklahoma and I say like carne asada or something, like I'll say something with like the New Mexico twang to it, and they're like, all right, buddy.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
doing?
When I do that, I feel like I'm not doing I shouldn't be.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It feels wrong.
Yeah. I'm like, I should just keep it gringo.
It's like, oh yeah, there's this newscaster back where I come from named Cynthia Isaguirre.
No, I'm just like,
did you just trill your tongue, boy?
You know what? I should just keep calling it chimichanga.
Chimichanga.
All right, we got to get the show going because I've got interviews to play that are rather winded because I'm winded.
That is me.
We're going to replay our interview we had yesterday with the folks from Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge talking about Dragonfly Festival. Steve Alvarez and Don Well joined us. We're going to play that interview here in just a bit. In the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to replay our interview we had with CEO of the air races, the National Championship Air Races, Fred Telling. We had a great conversation with him on Monday. We're going to play that for you in the 8 o'clock hour. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, we're going to be joined by Diana Luce, District Attorney for the 5th Judicial District, and her lead investigator, Justin Dominguez. They're going to pop in for our DA's office monthly visit. And we'll chit-chat, talk about things going on in the office there, and always usually talking about how the sausage is made and that kind of stuff, too. So we'll be joined by Diana and Justin here about 9:15 or so this morning. Let's see. It is 7:17. Let's do this. Let's take a quick weather and commercial break, and then we'll get you into our interview with Steve and Don talking about Dragonfly Festival. Don't go away.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're in the low to mid 90s, and it looks pretty good today. Lots of sunshine. High pressure is over our area. Clear and upper 60s for the overnight hours. We're expecting mid 90s with more sunshine on Friday. Clear Friday night, and then no big changes all the way through the upcoming weekend. We get sunshine Saturday and Sunday. Afternoon highs both days in the mid 90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Hey, Mark.
Morning, Sam.
Having the house remodeled?
Nah, I got termites, and they're chewing the place up.
Welcome to the neighborhood. I've got them too.
Really?
Yeah, just had a termite treatment put in.
You did? I didn't see a lot of digging around your house.
That's because I went with the Centricon termite colony elimination system. It's a lot easier to install than what you're doing. They just place bait stations around the house, and then the termites share the bait with each other until the colony is gone. No digging, no chemical solution, just simple protection that's environmentally responsible.
Wow.
Yeah, I even got a green chemistry award from the EPA.
Centricon, huh? I'll be right back.
Hey, where you going?
Tell these guys to stop digging. I'm getting Centricon.
Call Bob Reed Pest Control today for all of Southeast New Mexico. 575-623-5344.
Summertime is the right time to move on into the Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop. The Cow is an authorized handy quilter long-arm dealer. They make their own quilts, shirts, and rope bowls right at the Cow. Come in and check out all the summer fabrics plus stellar fabrics for our interstellar travelers. The Cow has brother sewing machines with warranties on sale now, and they can fix and perform maintenance on all brands. So log on to RoswellQuilting.com to order. The Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop, 200 East College in Roswell. Want to know how? Come see the Cow.
Are you tired of chasing symptoms without finding real answers? Do you feel your health is a mystery that no one can solve? At Roswell Medical Clinic, we specialize in functional medicine, a revolutionary approach that uncovers the root causes of chronic conditions like autoimmune disease, thyroid issues, digestive disorders, hormonal imbalances, and chronic fatigue. Our expert team creates personalized treatment plans tailored to you, combining the latest scientific research with lifestyle changes, nutritional guidance, and stress management to restore your health and vitality. Take the first step toward lasting wellness. Visit 111 West Hobbs or call 575-317-3311 to schedule your consultation today at Roswell Medical Clinic.
My name is Marie Senna. I'm a painter, tattoo artist, illustrator, and medical tattooer. Before I became a business owner, I did not have health insurance. I don't get my health insurance from an employer. I assumed that it was unattainable for me, but it was really easy to find a health insurance plan through BeWell. Now that I have health insurance that is affordable, I feel like I've got some peace of mind that if I need to go to the doctor or the hospital, I'm not going to break my bank. Visit BeWellNM.com to find a plan for you. What's the best that could happen?
At Martine's Capital Cafe, come in and enjoy a delicious variety for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Try our burritos, huevos rancheros, asado, chorizo, sausage, flantas, fajitas, chili rellenos, quesadillas, enchiladas, sopapillas, and don't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger and so much more. Everything is prepared with the finest and freshest ingredients. Martine's Capital Cafe. Quality, value, tradition, and the most delicious New Mexican food since 1989. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th Street in Roswell.
When managing a chronic illness, access to the right treatments makes all the difference. Artesia General Hospital's Infusion Center provides IV therapy and biologic treatments, so you don't have to travel far for care. Expert infusion therapy right here in Artesia. Call 575-736-8256 today to learn more.
You are 13.8% more likely to die on your birthday. Think about that the next time you want to celebrate your birthday month. Here's Mike Winters.
Now officially in studio with Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge. Of course, with the Friends of Bitter Lake, Don Weld back with us. And for, I say weeks or a few short months, we got, how much time you got left, Steve, before he officially retires here?
End of December.
And so you got a couple more months here.
4 more months.
Steve Alvarez, he's actually, I always call him the park ranger, so to speak, of Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge.
That's what I am.
He's got a way fancier title, but that's, he's the one chasing Yogi Bear around the park there.
There you go. That's right. Mostly snakes.
Yeah, most of this have snakes and various critters and things and plants. Plants that ain't supposed to be there, and plants, welcoming the ones in and kicking the other ones out. But
that's right.
But first off, welcome back. And Steve, I guess this will probably be one of the last few times as a part of Bitter Lake we get to talk to you on the radio here. Yeah. Although Don's already recruiting him for the Friends of Bitter Lake already.
I'm trying. He's trying. I'm taking a year off.
Yeah. Well, you are retiring. You got to go see the world a little bit, and I'm sure family members have a few plans for you post-retirement. So
this next September, we're hoping to take a safari cruise Africa.
Oh, cool!
See the migration of wildebeest. So
nice.
We want to see that. We're excited about.
So
that.
You're a pretty knowledgeable dude on these types of things. Do you need a guide? Are you kind of like, I'm pretty?
No, we'll go with a group.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just to know the lay of the land's probably pretty. They don't. It's not a good idea to just gallivant in places like Africa if you don't know where you're going. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just gonna take a walk about a little bit here. Yeah.
Don't worry about lions.
Yeah, there'll be lions or politics.
That's right.
But that'll be cool. So have you done anything like that before? Or this be first time?
Not this. We went on a cruise to Greece one time.
Okay.
That was really interesting.
Well, a cruise is different than a safari.
Yeah, a safari would be a first time.
Cruise is your longest trip is to the buffet.
That's true.
Pretty much. Safari, the buffet comes to you. You're the buffet sometimes, depending on.
That's true.
If you aren't careful, you could be.
That comes to you here.
I can attest to that.
Yeah. But cool. But this coming up, we're just weeks away from, I would say, arguably say the biggest event that happens at Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge, the annual Dragonfly Festival.
Yeah.
2025 is getting ready to come here that weekend of September 5th and 6th.
Correct.
It is a full weekend of events. They start Friday night with usually a lecture talk and
Correct.
a star, weather permitting, of course, usually a star watch party, and then Saturday is that day of the tours, and then
Saturday is the big
events happen, and then Sunday morning until about midday they'll usually have a few spillover tours of like the wildlife or dragonfly tours for people that didn't get a chance to do it on Saturdays.
Yeah, that's right. On Friday we have Karen Gaines. She used to be one of our student interns there, and did, I think her master's there. And she's really knowledgeable on dragonflies, especially at Bitter Lake.
So she spent a lot of time in hip waders in the water out there.
Yeah,
and
all the time. Every time you see somebody out in the marsh, it was her.
It was her.
So she'll be doing a PowerPoint presentation on Friday night at 6:30.
Cool.
It's normally it gets full. So try to get there early. I would say probably around 6 o'clock.
And it's not an RSVP thing. It's just kind of first come, first show.
Yeah. Our
but when the little auditorium fills up there, then we're filled up.
We fill about 50 people, and then we're done. I mean, so. And then following her program, we have the Roswell Astronomy Club will set up their telescopes.
Yeah.
And it's been pretty successful. We've had quite a bit of viewing out there afterwards.
Weather's cooperated in the last few years.
Well, the big thing is the clouds.
That's the one that kills. Yeah. But the beauty of it is for folks who've never been out to Bitter Lake, you're out in the country out there.
Correct, and that's why they love going out there.
It's dark out there, and it's a great place to look at the stars and all that stuff.
Yeah, they had some pretty good stuff out there.
So if you do get there and I missed the dragonfly talk because I'm number 51 in that room or whatever it is.
Exactly.
Stick around and hang out for the watch party and because they love folks just coming. And of course, if you do have your own telescopes and stuff, they usually encourage you to bring those stuff. But if you don't, there's usually always someone there to let you take a gander through their telescopes.
And we'll set up in the back of the visitor center. There's like a little deck back there.
They got a little observation deck back there.
Exactly.
And it's really and generally speaking, that's because you don't really get a lot of opportunities to hang out at Bitter Lake after dark.
No, officially the refuge is closed after dark.
So it's one of the few opportunities to kind of see Bitter Lake and the nighttime life of what it's out there. Because once it gets dark, the only people out there are animals, plant life, and maybe the occasional worker or something working on something out there. That's about it. Or a resident that lives out in that area. Yeah. They're supposed to be there.
We do have a couple of residents there.
A couple people live out there, and their neighbors are the
coyotes,
the coyotes, and the dragonflies, and the
pronghorns,
and they got temporary crane visitors from time to time and things like that.
Hear them at night. The noise.
But the cool thing is the Dragonfly Festival is just a lot of fun. Now. I invite you to go to the Friends of Bitter Lake website. I think it's like Friends of Bitter Lake, WR.org or something like that. If you type in Friends of Bitter Lake or Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge, you'll get right to it on Google.
You just say Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge, it'll pop up.
But there you can go, and I know on the Friends page there's a tab for the Dragonfly Festival. Once you click that, you'll see the poster for this year's festival, which if you don't know, that's cool because every year they get the grade school students that do their drawings and everything, and then they get some community members to come out on a day and they judge. And there's hundreds of artworks from most of it's elementary school.
Yeah, it's K through
fifth grade. Yeah,
correct.
And they do some amazing stuff, and so you can go and see this year's. Overall winner and the poster there and everything, and then you see the other winners.
Who was
and
that?
stuff.
I can't remember his name. I didn't.
I've got it too. I
know I'm slipping right now.
It was a few months ago this was done.
Now, if you go to the visitor center, we have a display of all
the different art and all that.
Yeah, so it's really cool. So.
But and then of course if you get the T-shirts and everything, that artwork is displayed on there.
We actually have the T-shirt design made right now, so it's pretty cool.
So if you get those, and the cool thing is when you buy that kind of stuff, or if you go out that weekend or this week or any weekend to the gift shop there, and you purchase books or T-shirts or hats or whatever out there. all of that money goes back to the Friends of Bitter Lake organization, which in turn goes back into projects out at the refuge there. You know, for an instance, the blind stand that's out there, the bird blind and all that stuff. That was a project that paid, buying books out of that gift shop paid for that kind of.
Yeah, the winner is Diego Sepulveda. And he's a third grader from Monterey Elementary.
So, he's already more advanced at art than I am.
It's a cool picture. He did a really nice job.
Yeah.
And there's about 500 entries, and so he ends up getting the friends pay him $100 as an award.
I've been asked to do it in the past. It's a lot of fun, but it ain't easy. Like you're kind of like, but you got hard decisions to make. You're kind of like, because they usually do it because they'll have all the photos like laid out on tables, and they give everybody like poker chips, and they say, okay, you get 5 poker chips, put them on your favorite ones, and I ain't gonna lie, you're walking through, it's like, got one left. Who's worthy of it? I don't know. This one's good, but so's this one. I don't know, man. You get to thinking.
It's a difficult after they get all these real good ones. And no, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, but it's really good. But we have some amazing art talent and kids doing some great things each year with that. So, please support that by checking it out. And I'm usually sometimes the kids will be out there that weekend. You go and shake hands and meet them and all.
We made a little sticker too of the artwork. So if you're at the visitor center, we'll give you a free sticker.
Cool.
Very
good.
Cool.
But yes, good for your book bag or pocket or something.
Yeah, there you go.
But and then of course that Friday night after the Star Partied up, then the next morning, Saturday, they'll I guess things officially kick off with the early bird tour.
Yeah,
and that's at 6 a.m. right?
6:30.
6:30.
6:30, and Patrick Collins and Jim Montgomery are some volunteers that have been working for us for years.
Okay.
Jim is like our major biologist out there. He's real sharp. He's like our crane expert.
Okay.
But they'll just do a variety of birds. We have the refuge has over 350 different species. So it just depends on the time of year.
Sure, depending. I imagine in the fall and spring is probably that number ticks up a bit.
Yeah, those are the two because that's the
during
migration.
the winter and summer, it's a little down a little bit on some of those.
So.
But yeah, catch the pun. The early bird tour. It's early because it's the first one, but it's all the birds of the refuge there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so call because we have about 15 entries because it's one van.
And that's the only one tour they offer is that Saturday morning. Like the wildlife and dragonfly tours, there's multiple tours of that.
That's correct.
But there's only one early bird because there's only one 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's it.
And it limits because of the vans that limits everything. So
and then, to be honest, they'd love to do later early bird tours, but the later early bird tours wouldn't have much to see because they're all sleeping or off, not ready to put on their show faces.
And it's been a long day, and the guides, it's harder for those guys to get out. So.
Exactly, too. You're in the weeds all day, bug bitten and everything else at some point. You're gonna, because it is nature. You get out there are bugs and things, and you get bug bit. And so, by the way, when you do come out, lots of bug spray, lots of water, shade, floppy hats. Keep yourself protected. It is September, first week of September, but it's usually still pretty warm that weekend. So,
and again, the whole purpose of the festival is to showcase the refuge to the public, to let you know what's out there. If you miss the Dragonfly Festival, Bitter Lake all year round has a variety of different stuff. It's always constantly moving.
And if you go in the fall, and then you go in the spring or in the summer, it's a different experience. Each season, it's a different. It's like a different map or different, scene landscape out there. Yeah.
We get people that come out there and they love it because of it changes. 1 minute they're not seeing anything, and then the next day they see all kinds of things.
Absolutely, yeah. And so that's what's the beauty. But this time of year is really great to see the dragonflies and to see all that. So, like we said, there's the early bird tour, but then there's 2 other types of group tours you can sign up. Again, these are all free.
Yeah.
The Dragonfly Tour, which you can, that's why we're here to see the
highlight of the Dragonfly Tours. We have some Dragonfly specialists, and they've been coming for years, veterans. They know their dragonflies real well. And what they do is they will have a van for each tour guide, and they take you out into the refuge. It's an hour and a half tour. They go out with big dragonfly nets and catch dragonflies and bring them up to you, show you, talk to you about. So, and people are amazed about what they really don't know about dragonflies.
It's pretty. It's pretty fascinating.
And Bitter Lake, there's over 500 wildlife refuges in the country, and Bitter Lake is known. We have mostly for our birds and all that stuff, but as a special thing is we have over 100 species of dragonflies there, which is unique. Some places might have 2 or 3 or 5 different species with a whole bunch of them, but we have 100 different kinds.
So, which means the people that study dragonflies, they like to come here.
Yeah, they're pretty excited.
Good pickings here.
Yeah, exactly. So
great territory.
All our guides are volunteers, and just like you said, they love coming out here because of the variety of dragonflies.
Yeah, it's really cool to hear and talk about all that stuff. Yeah. And then there is another tour. The wildlife tour, which covers more of the other parts of the refuge.
Our biologist will take a group of people in the van, and he'll talk about management, what we do to protect the wildlife.
Kind of the science behind the nature here.
Exactly. And he focuses on the birds, the reptiles, everything that plants.
Well, it's a delicate balance out there. This is Mother Nature at its best. Exactly. You're seeing that delicate dance between the plant life and the animal life, and each doing their little part in the ecosystem, and when they don't, it impacts the whole ecosystem.
Oh, it does, and a lot of it has to do with water, because we're like our theme of the visitor center is called Oasis in the Desert, and really is. I mean, we have natural springs. We have over 70 sinkholes around. You don't see them from the visitor center, and every now and then we'll give tours to them. Some of the guides with the dragonflies will take you probably to some of these sinkholes.
Gotcha.
But with all that water resource, and then what we have to manage that is like we'll lower the water during the summer, because a lot of our shorebirds that migrate here like to nest in the mud flats.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then in the winter we'll add water to the ponds, to our impoundments. And that's because all the migrating birds, like the cranes.
That's when it turns into the pilot flying jay we talked about, and all the migratory animals
like a big airport of birds,
come in for their sodas and their nachos and what have you.
It's pretty cool. I mean, the migration of bird life to the refuge is pretty outrageous.
Absolutely, and of course we love. Of course, the refuge is open every day, like I said, from pretty much dawn to dusk every day.
Yeah.
And we would love the public. You're more than welcome to come out there and observe and do things and be. Now, this isn't, again, just to remind folks, Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge is not Bottomless Lakes Park. Bottomless Lakes, that's where you go if you want to boat and camp and swim and do all those kinds of things. Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge, that's for the animals and plant life and the things native to this part of the country. That's their home. We as humans are there to observe, report, study, and appreciate.
Oh, yeah.
And that's about it. And so when they ask when you're there, don't be doing the things you do at Bottomless Lake. Don't be out there picnicking and getting in the water and all that. Stay to the trails, because really, if you get off the beaten path, you can really mess up the ecosystem out there. And the least amount of human interaction or human touch we have on some of this stuff, the better, or limited amount of that stuff, the better on that type of thing.
It protects that. Yeah, well, our main job is conservation, and that's what we try to do all year round.
It's designed so your grandkids, when they come, they're going to see the same animals, same plant, like not the exact same ones, but the same species.
Exactly. Several generations now.
Otherwise, there's a Fountain of Youth there somewhere, and we're going to have a lot of people visiting all of a sudden.
Oh, man, that crane's old.
This crane's 437 years old. That dragonfly, that's his grandkid over there. He's born 200 years ago. But that's really what it's for. And so I would encourage families to come. You don't have to wait till September 5th and 6th to come out. Come out this weekend and check it out.
And, you mentioned about the uniqueness of the refuge. And one of the things we're going to have highlight for this Saturday is we have 2 presentations, other than just the tours you mentioned.
Gotcha.
At 11 o'clock, for the first time, we're having a rattlesnake expert, a guy named Nathan Hawkins from what's that? Abilene, Texas.
I find it ironic a guy with the last name Hawk is a snake expert at eating them.
He's gonna bring I think a sample of every rattlesnake species found in New Mexico.
Okay.
And he's gonna have a display there for people to see. And then at 11 o'clock, he's gonna actually be doing a presentation in our auditorium. And that's first come, first serve. That's gonna be real. I haven't talked to him or seen his program, but other friends of mine mentioned that we need.
They really enjoy it.
Yeah, they said he's really knowledgeable.
Well,
and so
I don't care what you say. If you live in New Mexico, you should have some knowledge of rattlesnakes.
Yeah,
you don't have to be an expert, but you got to know what you're looking at, know the dangers it presents, and know how to steer clear of it.
Exactly. And they are a part of our ecology.
Yeah,
We need them.
and to know the different types. I mean, you don't need to know their whole lifestyle, but you can definitely know their patterns and know, all right, this one's more aggressive, stay farther back, or this one's pretty docile, you just walk by it and leave it alone, it'll be fine.
And I tell new employees or new volunteers or whatever, I say, hey, I've worked about 8 national parks and 3 national wildlife refuges, and this is #1 spot of rattlesnake population I've ever seen. So,
you've got
to be careful, but
quite the assortment of them here.
Definitely. So anyway, 11 o'clock, that would be great. It's free. Come to the auditorium. I would probably get there around 10:30 because once it's full, we're gonna.
Well, it also, especially when you're out there and if it's a warmer Saturday. Air-conditioned things get very popular all of a sudden. I'm just saying.
That's true. You never know with the weather. The other program we have, and she's come back before, Laura McCain, she's done a great job. She's a former teacher, and she does a presentation on hawks. Raptors of New Mexico.
And she's Jameis Snake. No, I'm just kidding.
She has about maybe 5-6 different kind of birds of prey, from owls to turkey vultures. She brings them in, and they'll be in the auditorium. She'll also have them on a table for display later during the day.
They're just cool because they're big birds.
Yeah,
I mean, that's it. All the birds of prey are big.
They are really cool, and so she's real knowledgeable, and she relates real well with the audience as a former school teacher. She's just really enthusiastic.
I hopefully folks check that out because people don't realize how big birds are. Like you see movies and things, but if you ever line up next to a bald eagle or something like that, their talons are as big as your head sometimes. And you're like, they get a hold of like. There's a reason sometimes eagles are picking up like deer and flying off with them. You know, they don't joke around.
And she'll do her presentation at 2:00. So I would probably be there around 1:30.
Okay.
And when you do make reservations for your dragonfly tours or for your wildlife tours, try to make sure each tour is an hour and a half. So
allot yourself.
Make sure don't overlap if you want to see those presentations.
But definitely you need to do that sooner rather than later. Like I said, August 1st it opened up here, and all these tours are first come first serve for signups here.
And they're free.
They are absolutely free. Yeah.
I think 2 things you have to pay for. The coffee place is out of this world. I can't remember. Stellar Coffee.
Stellar
Coffee is going to be setting up a trailer. So you'll have to pay if you want coffee there.
So you want coffee and drinks.
And they'll have hot and cold coffees.
A local
some hot early, something cold a little later.
Yeah,
probably.
they'll be there in the morning, and then they'll be leaving around 1:00.
Okay.
So, they'll be selling pastries.
I'm about to say they usually have pretty good baked goods and things too.
Yeah.
So you're going to feel peckish. You're going to want to visit them.
Food wise, the scouts, local scout troops here will be setting up a
hot dog stand,
hot dogs or hamburgers. I can't remember. They change from different year to year, but they'll be setting up a little tent, and they'll be cooking hot dogs and for sale to
support the scouts. Yeah,
exactly.
That pays for trips to camp and all the various things. And matter of fact, I always know this when we talk with Don. Speaking of scouts, if there's some Eagle Scout students are trying to get their Eagle Scout, I know there's a few projects out at Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge that might be really worthy of an Eagle Scout project.
Yeah, exactly. Contact the refuge, and then we'll see what we can do.
So, part of it is the scout camp.
Well, we have a scout camp for scouts if they want to spend, some weekends out there and
practice their scout craft.
Exactly. It's available. It's available to them.
And that's one of the few exceptions to camping out there.
Correct.
Is the scouts. But the reason for that is because they teach the scouts how to low impact camp out there.
Right.
So
Correct.
they are
Leave it better than you found it.
That is a you know, you hear about mottos in Scout, you know, be prepared and all that, but one of the Scout mottos too is always leave a campsite better than you found it. And that's
and they've done a good job. And they have worked on projects from our butterfly trail to we have a desert upland trail. That was actually an Eagle Scout project. So
so if you're looking for some of those, you know, reach out to the Bitter Lake and, you know, do that leadership part of your project and start, you know, calling or coming by and let's see what we can do to help each other out.
Exactly. Another thing, Mike, that Don here mentioned to me that we need to go ahead and let people know is we're going to be releasing 150 monarch butterflies.
Yeah, that's kind of been a tradition at Dragonfly for the last several years. Yeah,
at 12 noon we'll be doing that.
That's a pretty
you
cool
need to call us to get tickets. Put your name on there. We'll have 3 sites that we release the butterflies.
Yeah.
And it's normally for kids, but you know, it just depends if we have any slots available.
We got a few extra butterflies available. You want to release one? Come on down.
And we're still kind of early in the process. So, but if you call, we'll give you a ticket, and then you just come over. It's a great photo opportunity.
It's a lot of fun.
We
Kids
give you a
enjoy it.
monarch and the butterflies, and they'll just throw it up in the air, and it flies away.
You're doing your part for their whole migratory thing.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, over the years, in fact, Fish and Wildlife has been real concerned about their populations.
Sure.
A lot of them,
The
most
numbers
of
have
them
been-
migrate down, generations migrate down to Mexico, and then they come back up North America. But
those numbers aren't as much moving.
Exactly. So they're.
Well, I know you guys have been kind of planting the seeds here for the last several years and in integrating a new batch, I guess you say, or flock or whatever.
Help out anyway.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
And you can help personally yourself by your home gardens if you try to plant milkweed, because that's what the
they like.
monarchs they'll lay the eggs on there, and then they'll grow up. They when they eat the sap in the plant, monarchs have that orange color. It's because it's a warning to other predators. If you
The colors are
you
defense
eat me,
mechanism. Yeah.
If you eat me, you're going to get highly sick or you're going to die.
Yeah.
Because I'm poisoned.
I mean, it's really pretty to look at and all that, but that's part of it's intimidating to eat.
Exactly. So, and you know, our friends at Bitter Lake have helped design our butterfly trail that connects the visitor center to a loop trail. And in the last few years, we've actually had monarchs come over and start laying their eggs at the
So they're setting up shop.
Yeah.
That is so great.
Growing.
Yeah.
That's so a few more of these, and maybe we're getting those numbers back to where they're supposed to be.
And it's cool because I've been there since 2001, and it's been really fun to watch the Friends of Bitter Lake start off as a small little group and then do projects. They're instrumental in having us purchase that new visitor center. That visitor center is beautiful.
Well, without the volunteers, whether it's the Friends or because there's another volunteer group that's directly
just mixed.
Regardless, that's the reason this park is here and thriving and still here today is because our great volunteers that volunteer their time to put in their sweat equity out there and doing their stuff.
And it's more important now, as you know, with all these government cuts, there's less staffing and stuff like that, and
they give you a few hurdles to make magic out there.
So having volunteers, and if you're interested, it could be anything from doing bird surveys to working on the butterfly trail to helping at the visitor center. In fact, we are looking for a RV couple. If we give them free camping. And it's water, sewage, and they can go ahead and we'll have them work 3 days at the visitor center.
Yeah, it's pretty easy work.
Yeah, it's easy, but it's free. Like I said, free campsite.
And you can use it as your jump off point if you want to see South. Like say, we're going to go hit Carlsbad Caverns one day, or we're going to go to Lincoln or whatever.
Seasonally,
and then just use Bitter Lake as your base kind of thing.
We have a little place where you put your RV pad, and it's got a rooftop. And we have a laundry facility for you.
And it's nice and quiet out there.
Yeah, it's quiet. It's beautiful.
It's not like an RV park where you got a neighbor 3 feet away.
It's like a gated community. So give us a call if you're interested, and that is 575-244-6256. And again, we're looking for an RV couple.
Yeah.
And they'll be helping with the visitor center.
You're going to have amazing morning walks every day.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
You're going to walk around Bitter Lake every morning. And you get to do it at right at dusk or right at dawn, rather, at 6 a.m. or whatever, or technically
And this program,
I
with
started
RV,
when it was dark. They didn't know. I was already here.
and this program, RV camping, has been a national program. And like I said, there's 500 wildlife refuges, and not all of them have volunteers.
You play your cards right.
Yeah, you could go. You can do a summer or winter here.
I ain't gonna lie, that sounds
Florida,
fun.
Or Alaska,
like
wherever.
if I had retired and if I was in your shoes, Steve.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm about to. I'm thinking that. Yeah, let's get us an RV and we're gonna spend a year. We'll start East Coast, and then by the end of the year, we're gonna hit the West Coast.
We plan to visit a lot of refuges and parks with retirement, but
and I wouldn't even need like that big hulking RV that
No.
I don't need that 700 footer that pops out. No, give me that little tiny jobber that me and maybe my wife,
we've
could
had
comfortably.
people with sprinters, a small little push-pull trailer.
Yeah, a little place I can eat a dinner, watch a TV show, and sleep. That's all I need.
Yeah.
And you take care of business. Other than that, I'm good to go.
Yeah. Give me a call before I retire, and I'll try to set you up.
There you go. I got to get the RV first. Hold on. Oh, and retire. Yeah, that was the other thing I got to do.
Try to do that.
So, and then if you can't make any of these events on Saturday, well, let me go over a little bit. We do have several vendors.
Oh, yeah. There'll be a lot of other agencies and nonprofits.
We have an archery. The 4-H club will be doing archery. Kids arts and craft. They do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
In the back deck with the kids.
Okay.
So it's a fun
Will there be
day.
any game and fish here? I know some years they've had it. Some years.
This year they
Again,
were unable
government
to make
cutbacks tend to cut into things.
And that's probably going to be one of my biggest disappointments. We've had that fishing pool for a long time, and we'll definitely miss that one. That
well,
event.
Well, I guess I know now that law enforcement, they're doing their fishing with a cop thing now. And maybe if you need to get your fishing fix, they just had one a couple weeks ago, so maybe we could do they'll go out to Lake Van and do fishing and stuff.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
But I mean, it's not it's not fishing out with the learn, but that's always, and who knows, it may come back, but funding is what funding does, and
it was fun for the kids. I mean, and it's kind of crazy because most refuges in the country allow some kind of fishing, but Bitter Lake, we have several different rare fish.
That they don't want you messing with.
A lot of fishermen use bait fish, and so they get loose and compete with the native stuff. Yeah. So it's been a policy.
And that's something that people don't realize too. Is we talk about protecting the animals and plants native, but the problem is there are some plants and animals that thrive very well in this environment, but aren't native to it. So that's the constant fight. Like you hear about salt cedar. That's one of the.
They have.
That's a plant that's hardy here.
And that's been one of the things that I've noticed with our management here over the years. We've hit that pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
It's still always a constant battle, but when I first got here, it was like a forest of salt cedar out there.
It was winning. Now it's an even fight.
We've knocked it out pretty good, and there's several other stuff that happens, and that's even all around the country. When I was in Florida, oh my gosh, Florida, because it's subtropical.
Sure.
They even have monitor lizards, different kind of reptiles.
Sure.
Coming in because people have pets and let them loose.
Absolutely. Speaking of that, kind of talking maybe a little science here, but I know I'm hearing like Roswell Seed and the city, other people we've talked to, like the flooding that we had here last year and how that's been a real issue on creating weeds, but weeds that are kind of tougher to fight. Like these are kind of tougher, you know what I mean? Like the normal. Are you guys experiencing any things like that out of the refuge because of the flooding?
We have always had different kind of plants.
Yeah. I just didn't know if you were seeing anomalies out there because of the flooding.
We've had just some weird stuff going on in the last few years. For one thing, our bird feeders, I've been concerned about our birds.
Mm-hmm.
We used to get a lot of variety of birds coming to the visitor center with some of our bird feeders. And now, the last 2 years, I haven't seen hardly any. I was just talking to our biologist the other day about how normally I would see western kingbirds hanging around some of the trees and around the wires and stuff, and I haven't seen a single one. And we used to get tons of those. When I first moved here, when you work at this kind of agency, when I travel so much, there'd be a certain bird that would reflect that habitat. You know? And here at when I came right at Bear Lake, in this area, I noticed some Baltimore Orioles making nests all over.
I used to see them back home all the time in Maryland.
They used to be quite a bit here. In
Yeah.
fact, I have a couple of nests because I would get after they hatched,
Mhm.
they would leave this really cool looking nest behind. And I got several of them, and I haven't seen one in years.
Interesting.
I mean, so I've been concerned about that, and I don't know. And then the last couple of years with the water changes, about 3 years ago, we had about 35,000 cranes arrive on the refuge. And then last year, we only had like 8,000.
Wow.
And they were still around, but they were hanging around near Arizona and
It's like
stuff
the numbers of cranes are the same, but they're just going to different places.
spots. And that's been, in the 20 years I've been here, I've never seen that happen.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of weird, It just strange stuff has been happening the last few
And you wonder if it is. Maybe it's a certain plant that we come here for that plant, and if there's less of it,
I don't know.
they're like, we'll just go. You know what I mean? It's kind of like humans when we take our road trips, and we're like, we're gonna stop here because they got the blueberry pie or whatever.
Well, just even the pattern of the water. We get flooding everywhere. Well, that fills the marshes, but then all of a sudden it changes to drought conditions.
Sure.
It's just real. It's just weird.
Sure. Well, and and then I'm sure it ebb and flows. Because I'm going to imagine at some point maybe it shifts the other way, and then they start coming back, and
exactly.
And it's kind of
Last year we had there was Bitter Creek. We have several endangered like snails and amphipods in there.
Sure.
And it pretty much almost dried up. Never has had happened.
Well,
and we were actually having the snails sent to Dexter to try to raise them, and also we had snails in aquariums at the refuge because we thought we were going to lose some of the habitat. And then, it bounced back.
Sure.
But it was a scare for
I
us
imagine,
for a while.
because, when it's dry everywhere here, there's no different out at Bitter Lake. And we've had some dry years.
Yeah, we had some
and
dry ones.
that will alter those plants. And so maybe with the flooding and, we get a few more. I'm not saying we need more floodings, but as we get, we've been getting a little bit more moisture lately.
Yeah.
If we get some more patterns of more of that, maybe we'll start seeing some of these things you weren't seeing come back again.
I'm curious to see what's going to happen with the cranes if we get numbers again.
Because to be honest, that's Dragonfly Festival by far is the one seed number one event that happens out at Bitter Lake for the public.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. I would say number two is probably your Cranes and Cocoa here in about a month later in November time frame.
And we also have hunting. We got waterfowl hunting. It's not, there's certain sections of the refuge that we allow. And people always ask, how can you hunt at refuges? Well, there's a real close development. A lot of the hunters early on and before refuges are around, they're the ones that try to get people to start regulating laws to protect them because they go out there and what happened to all our birds?
And this is the slippery slope that when we talk about
California parents rallied outside the state
economic
Capitol building
all the time. We're out of time, but the economic impact. I mean the nature impact of it. Whereas you look at like the forest stuff here, and they protect the forests, but man's already been there.
Yeah.
And if you just pull man out of the equation without doing anything to mitigate that, it's just as bad as man over mitigating. So you got to find that balance. We're here already. You got to find that balance between, man not getting too involved, but at the same time, we've already been involved. We don't want to not get involved to screw things up even worse than we were before. And so that's the dance we're fighting.
And with the hunting program, for waterfowl, it's mandatory. You have to buy a what's called a federal duck stamp. And that money goes directly into buying habitat for the
Gotcha.
A lot of refuges are established with that money.
Yeah.
So
Well,
anyway.
we're late. It's 9:01. We blew right through the 9 o'clock hour. Again, get your tickets. Friends of Bitter Lake. It's Friends of Bitter Lake WR.org, I think is the actual address. But type in Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge, anything like that, and that'll get you right to the website.
And let me give you the phone number real quick for the reservations.
Yes.
It's 575-244-6256. And call as soon as you can because these slots will get filled, and we hate to not get you on board.
Early bird getting worm on this one. So
and they're starting to fill up.
There you go. Well, thank you guys. Appreciate it. Thank you, Steve.
All right.
We'll see you again soon. I know we will. Just if nothing else, we'll see him again.
Yeah,
But-
there you go.
All
Thanks,
right,
Mike.
9 o'clock.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're in the low to mid 90s, and it looks pretty good today. Lots of sunshine. High pressure is over our area. Clear and upper 60s for the overnight hours. We're expecting mid 90s with more sunshine on Friday. Clear Friday night, and then no big changes all the way through the upcoming weekend. We get sunshine Saturday and Sunday. Afternoon highs both days in the mid 90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Your home for Coast to Coast AM in Roswell, 106.5, Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
His was a familiar, wise, uncompromising voice on the radio for many years.
Well, thank you, everyone, for tuning into our program today.
Focus on the Family founder, Christian psychologist Dr. James Dobson, has died. A longtime champion of traditional family values, he also established the Dr. James Dobson Family Institute in 2010. Dr. James Dobson, dead at the age of 89. As Hurricane Erin continues its northward trek out in the Atlantic, the storm's impact being felt on shore, coastal North Carolina, now coastal Virginia, getting hammered.
Some Outer Banks residents like Tom Newsom staying put.
I've lived here almost 40 years, and I've never evacuated. Not yet. Not to say I won't ever.
Storm watches and warnings in effect and waves up to 20 feet forecast for some areas.
Correspondent Julie Walker says numerous people have had to be rescued from the dangerous surf. Beaches are closed from the Carolinas up to New York. A federal judge blocks a Texas law requiring display of the 10 Commandments in every classroom.
It's a temporary ruling against the state's new requirement, making it the third state law of this nature to be blocked by a court. A group of Dallas area families looked for a preliminary injunction against the law, which goes into effect on September 1st. They say the requirement violates the First Amendment's protections for the separation of church and state and the right to free religious exercise. Religious groups and conservatives say the 10 Commandments are part of the foundation of the United States' judicial and educational systems and should be displayed. Texas is the largest state to attempt such a requirement. I'm Haya Panjwani.
More than 550 arrests and counting. The Trump administration says the D.C. crime crackdown is working. On Wall Street, the Dow down 196 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Historic tall ships pay a visit to Amsterdam, part of a maritime history festival.
Large crowds were packed along a major canal in Amsterdam to watch a flotilla of hundreds of historic ships sail into the Dutch capital during the start of a 5-day festival. Ships from all over the world, many decorated with colorful flags, are taking part in the 10th edition of Sail Amsterdam, which coincides with the city's 750th anniversary. A replica of the three-masted clipper Stad Amsterdam passed through a lock to officially start the event. Every ship is greeted with 2 cannon shots and its country's national anthem. The event is held every 5 years, but the 2020 edition was cancelled because of the COVID pandemic. I'm Mimi Montgomery.
Israel's defense minister approving a plan to call up tens of thousands of reservists for an expanded operation in Gaza City. The plan involves a deployment of 60,000 reservists, extending service for 20,000 more. Townhall.com. Well, just when you thought you heard it all, something else crops up.
At least a couple of offshore bookmakers are offering odds on games at the Little League World Series. Team officials are not pleased at all, voicing their displeasure with gambling on the games. players in the tournament top out at a whopping 12 years of age. Little League International strongly denouncing sports betting on youth competition. Jason Walker reporting.
Target has named an insider as its next chief executive officer. The change comes as the discount retailer tries to reverse a persistent sales malaise. Chief Executive Officer Brian Cornell, he's led the company for about 11 years, will be stepping down as of February 1st to be succeeded by Target's current Chief Operating Officer, Michael Fidelki. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2 of mornings on Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Does sound more intimidating.
Con queso.
Yeah. Con queso is way better than Con Miguel.
Con Mike Winters. Yes, this we serve Con Mike Winters. He just comes over and sits down at your table. He's like, hey, how you doing?
Then he double dips in your queso.
Absolute audacity. You know, I figured out, and this is something that people are like, oh, you can't double dip. Yes, you can. It's simple. You have a chip. You dip the chip. Take your bite. Turn the chip. Dip the other end of the chip, which is perfectly fine. And you've double dipped your chip. It's like we could have that Seinfeld episode could have been wrapped up in 4 minutes.
Unless you're dealing with a germaphobe and so we touched the other end of the chip, the end you touched went into the dip.
I'll take, because when I bite, it'll have a corner.
It's not annoying. It's someone's car alarm's going off outside.
Take the part that I bit and I'll
Hope
turn
it's not mine.
I'll turn it there. Do you have that thing?
I think all new cars do, don't they?
Mine doesn't.
I said again, I think all new cars do.
That's fair. That's fair. Punk. I think it's just any cars with a fob. Push your button and see what happens. Because now this is real riveting live radio here, folks.
Let's see. That would be funny. It may have been mine.
It was yours. We're all, some jerk just can't even hear the alarm going off. We're trying to conduct business in here.
Who's in there? I wonder if it hit my pocket or something. I wonder how that happened.
That's funny. Come back in the room after you farted and left. And go, it was me.
It was me. That's pretty funny. It's gonna be one of those days, I could tell.
I was trying to explain the phrase to my kids the other day. That went over like a fart in an elevator. Because what happened was Rhiannon got mad at me because right after we got off the elevator, I let one out.
Let her rip.
And it was right like in front of her, literally in front of her. So she got upset. I'm like, sorry, I couldn't do it in the elevator. That would go over like a fart in an elevator. And she's like, badly. It would go over badly.
Yeah. She's got to learn the turn of phrase.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't do metaphors so well.
I would love to know that she somehow worked that into her vocabulary today, though. She's like, well, that went over like a fart in an elevator.
That's the problem, is they are mimics. That will crawl up in some. It'll probably happen at like her mom's, your wife. It'll be some. Where did that come from?
There's become a recent problem, and I think that she tests the waters around me to see if I'm going to get mad when she says it. But she enjoys utilizing the name of a famous historical figure who some consider, a pretty high place in religious places. She loves using the JC term.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
So you have to.
She'll drop that on a regular basis, and that's totally my fault. I know when they're mine.
I thought you said Abe Lincoln. That's Abe Lincoln. Hey, Blinken.
Or she'll say, and this only happened a couple times. She'll say the ultimate worst version of "Gall darn it."
Ah,
yeah. And she's dropped that in front of me a couple. I'm like, oh, should I say something? It's a new time for kids. I know that language isn't what it used to be. And
all I know is when I was a kid, if I would have done that, that would have got a smack to the side of the
head. Yeah. My dad loved using the phrase "upside your head."
Yeah.
So if I'd have mouthed off like that, yeah. I've said it before. My mom had a move where she would, if she was upset enough, she would use the phrase, and I quote, "by the God Harry," while grabbing the back of our head and pulling our hair. That was my mom's move. "By the God Harry." I have no idea where it came from.
I'm gonna guess her parents.
Yeah. Or some, but see, it's always it's usually a reference to something that they had picked up, from, I'm guessing, maybe like an old time radio show or something.
Oh yeah,
it could have been. Like the Honeymooners episode or something.
Yeah, some turn of phrase that was.
But
popular.
by the God Harry, that was that was always her go-to.
I think it's really just the move that you're really mad and you want to say something really bad.
Oh yeah.
But you're starting to filter yourself, and so it comes out. I'm going to be the Lord's Savior. You just start. All right, I gotta calm down. So you just start saying random things, and then it's like that didn't come out right. And then one of those just came out kind of like, hey, that's pretty good. I'm going to use it.
She's like, I like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to utilize that from now on. Write that down.
God, Harry. All right, we better get the hour going. I got another winded interview. I tend to love, but I'm going to say it's good. That's why it's long.
It's because you are doing what you are supposed to. Right. What you were supposed to do.
Like if you love pizza, you want a big pizza.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. I'm giving you big pizza.
Oh. So and I know you got to get to the interview, but when I was a kid, they had this thing called the Bigfoot at Pizza Hut.
Oh, I remember the Bigfoot.
Do you remember the Bigfoot?
Yes, I do.
Oh, that thing was amazing.
Came in that big long box.
Yeah. Huge box, and it was like deep dish style kind of. So the corners had that real big crust on it.
Yeah.
Bring back the Bigfoot Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
There, I say if you want to really tap into nostalgia, bring back the Bigfoot.
Real quick, speaking of that, we've had this conversation before. I was looking at the KFC app.
Yeah.
The other day, and I delve into the deepness of it, and you can get Chicken Little still at KFC.
Really?
They're like $3 now, but you can get them. They're not 39 cents for one anymore.
That's a shame.
I was like, oh, what? I ain't getting 20 of those.
Like, all right, fine. We'll give you a little piece of chicken for $3. I love KFC's social, by the way. They just recently brought back their potato wedges.
I saw the
big fries.
thing. Yeah.
And the way they brought them back was they tweeted out a picture of a wedge and the words, "Here, damn."
And that's right.
Great.
And that's literally what I said. I didn't even know they took them away. I thought they still could get them. But
the best part, KFC Taco Bell, if you can get the nacho fries, you get the cheese cup with the wedges.
Yeah.
Cloud 9.
Well, leave the chicken to KFC Taco Bell. When it comes to your fried, I don't know about these new fried crispy ones, but if they're anything like them nuggets, I don't want nothing to do with them. So, all right, we're going to replay our interview we had with Fred Telling, CEO of the National Championship Air Races. He joined us in studio on Monday to have a great conversation with us. So we'll play that for you here in just a bit. But first, your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're in the low to mid 90s, and it looks pretty good today. Lots of sunshine. High pressure is over our area. Clear and upper 60s for the overnight hours. We're expecting mid 90s with more sunshine on Friday. Clear Friday night, and then no big changes all the way through the upcoming weekend. We get sunshine Saturday and Sunday. Afternoon highs both days in the mid 90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Looking to start, continue, or complete your higher education journey? Join the more than 5,700 current Greyhounds on their journey to student success. Eastern New Mexico University offers the most affordable higher education degree in the Southwest, and New Mexico residents can go to school tuition-free with the New Mexico Opportunity Scholarship. With online or in-person degrees, ENMU is the right choice for you. For more information, visit enmu.edu. ENMU, student success, that's what we're about.
Hey Roswell, trade up to a new Ford or quality pre-owned vehicle for less during the final days of the summer clearance event at Roswell Ford. Right now, save big with clearance prices on new Fords with 0% APR and make no payments for 90 days. Your friends at Roswell Ford make upgrading to a new Ford or quality pre-owned vehicle for less super fun, super fast, and super easy. If you're making payments on your current vehicle and want out early, Roswell Ford will do whatever it takes to free you from your trade, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. Roswell Ford has partnered with more aggressive lenders that will push to approve your credit, even if it's less than perfect. Get huge American-made savings, more for your trade, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, because we'll do whatever it takes to make a deal. 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell. Call 575-623-3673 or online at roswellford.com. 0 APR for 48 months is $20.83 per thousand finance. Interest accrues from date of sale, subject to lender approval. On select vehicles, offers not combined.
When you or a loved one need medical transport, Trans-Aero answers the call. Trans-Aero Medevac operates 3 rotorcraft bases and 1 fixed-wing base in southeastern New Mexico, allowing them to respond quickly to emergencies across diverse terrains. Their fleet extends coverage deep into New Mexico and West Texas, including Artesia, Carlsbad, Roswell, Ruidoso, Midland, Lubbock, and the surrounding areas, ready to answer the call when every second counts. Trans-Aero Medevac, proudly serving southeastern New Mexico and West Texas. Flown for free, thanks to the partnership from the City of Artesia and Trans-Aero Medevac. Life support by air.
Do you know what the hardest part of dealing with the roofer is? Just trying to get them on the phone. Jennifer here from Trustmark Roofing, and I want you to know that you can always trust Trustmark Roofing to answer our phone. Need a free roof inspection? Just call us at 575-755-ROOF, and we'll answer with a live person, a real human being. Have a roofing project already going with us and need to discuss it? Just call 575-755-ROOF, and we will answer the phone. No answering machine, no voicemails, and no weird robot automated attendant. That's because at Trustmark Roofing, we're all about relationships and treating people right. That's true for customers and vendors and insurance companies and employees. Anyone and everyone who comes in contact with our company. So if you have any roofing needs at all, trust Trustmark to treat you right and to answer the phone. Our number again is 575-755-ROOF, or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
A Greek-Canadian man invented the Hawaiian pizza. His name was Tex Colorado, and he's from Detroit. Here's Mike Winters.
Joining us in studio this morning, CEO for the National Championship Air Races, Fred Telling, back with us. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mike. I'm delighted to be here. Beautiful day today.
Well, thank you for spending some time with us. I know your dance card's filling up pretty quick right now with Ramir. It's hard to believe. Like, we've been talking about this for years and kind of just thinking about it in concept for so long, and now here we are. We're weeks away from the first National Championship Air Races here in Roswell, New Mexico, and it's pretty exciting. I mean, yes, it's kind of scary, but very exciting at the same time.
Yeah, I probably, begin to feel like I'm bipolar. I go between thrilled, excited, and scared as hell. So the reality is we got, 24 days to go before race day on September 10th. And I have to tell you, not only do I enjoy Roswell now that I live here most of the time, but the reality is the city, the state have just done an incredible job. It's not only finding funding to do a lot of the work to create our new event space, but, at the end of the day, Mike Matthews and his team, everybody might find the funds to do things, but somebody's actually got to oversee all the buildings.
Takes the actual soup and nuts to make things happen. So
he and his team have just done one fabulous job, and, give a shout out to the Secretary of Transportation, Cerna. He's been amazing. They were building a brand new apron. It'll be a new taxiway when we get done for the FAA. It's over 4,000 feet long and about 100 feet wide, connecting two of the other locations. So all in all, I just can't thank the whole community. So we're really excited. And when people come up to me and see my logo on the shirt and they say, we're glad the air racers are coming, they have two questions. Their first one is, well, what exactly are they?
Yeah, what does this look like?
and so that's a lot of fun. And the second one, you say, well, we're super excited. And I said, well, I hope you still feel that way after we screw up your traffic for a week. But yeah, it's wonderful, Mike. And you're right. We announced only in May of last year.
Yeah.
And
lots happened over the summer. We that's where it really a lot from the concept to the actual we got. I mean, really over this last several months, we've got a course, the tracks are laid out, everything. They know exactly how the flow of everything's going to happen out there at race weekend, and now we just got to actually execute it.
Exactly. Now's the easy part, they say. But it's, one of the things that at the end of the day, we've got a lot more RV spaces. Mm-hmm. You remember the last time we talked, within a couple of weeks announcing the dates, almost all the hotels in Roswell had filled up. Within a month and a half of that, virtually all the ones at Artesia had filled up.
Pretty much any town within 50 miles of this place.
Yeah. And, the challenge we've had is for a lot of our core fans who have been used to being able to be 35 minutes from downtown Reno to up there.
I think we'll get there someday. It just takes a minute.
We will. The hard thing has been to convince them that, Ruidoso, Portales, Clovis, Carlsbad, with the Carlsbad and Cabot, there are other places they can go. But right now, this first year is really a transition year. I'm not seeing the growth in the hotels and those outlying for you guys. They're not outlying. I've discovered around here, you think an hour in the car is like a walk in the park.
We drive 3 hours for lunch. That's not uncommon.
And so, there's a lot of adjusting there, but we're also very excited by the increase in tickets from the New Mexico and West Texas coming across. So
you're going to get a lot of a new fan base.
We hope so.
Yeah,
that's one of the things we're
expose a lot of new people to the sport.
And plus, all the new people within drive distances that they're used to,
Mm-hmm.
they don't need a hotel room, so they're even better off. And they'll still be around for for restaurants and everything else.
Sure.
So we're looking forward to it.
And the I guess part of the good news is much of the community of the air racing, they love, camping and the RV style. So literally you can pop them, you give them a field and some water and some hookups and they're happy.
Well, that's an important point. Mike and his team have actually put in place, we've got close to 200 hookups for RVs with
Mm-hmm.
power and water, none of which were there, less than 6 months ago.
So a lot of mountains have been moved since the concept of this has happened.
Yeah, we're partway toward our goal, which is ultimately to have like 400 or more out there complete. But the team has just been amazing. I cannot thank them enough, and I really have to thank the community in general. I mean, there isn't a restaurant or shop that I've stopped into and people just haven't been polite, excited, interested. But, so glad to be here because the reality is, even though we think we've done as much as we can to get the word out, there's still people I meet in the street and say, well, I hear the air racers are coming. When are they going to be here? So
they know enough to know they know a little something.
Forgive me for the base pitch, but for all those listening, please, September 10th through the 14th. National championship air races will be here, and we're really looking forward to everybody coming out.
I highly recommend go to the website, airrace.org. No doubles, just airrace.org. You go there. Of course, you can order tickets, get everything you need to get set up for Air Race week here. However, if you're new to the sport and trying to think, all right, so what's going on here? That's a great education there, because there you can see the different classifications, and it's kind of like I like to compare some of it, like, because we kind of said it's like NASCAR in the sky, and so there's different categories. Like you talk about like these more open classes where it's kind of like if you think about the drag strip and it's the rung what you brung type thing, where guys with their street racers, their customized airplanes in this case, race against each other. But then there's categories that's more like NASCAR, where every single aircraft specs are identical. It's the pilot that has to, so you've got different. Then you got everything from drag racing to circuit racing. So it really is the gamut of if you can race it, this is what they're doing at the air races.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Actually, you've been studying up.
I kind of been reading up and checking out the different classifications and things. And
as you say, the Stoll group, they do Stoll drag 2x2. Indeed, knock on wood here. I'll get the word from Bobby, but to the best of my knowledge, the crews are hard at work starting today building the Stoll course, which will be the closest course to the crowd. And because all of the energy is in front of the crowd, not pointed toward the crowd at any moment in time.
Sure. Well, the safety and everything else is always the fun and excitement's there, but safety's always priority one at any of these events.
Safety's job one, and the reality is that's part of what brought us to Roswell. We think this is the safest course to race on. You've got, with the two hospital systems here, you've got the emergency services. God forbid we need them, but we never operate a race without the capacity in place. And so we work closely with them. So we had that huge accident in 2011, and the reality is because of all the pre-work, virtually all of the people impacted who were wounded survived. The 58, I believe the number was, that made it to the hospital in under a year, all but 2 of them survived. And so those were the critical things. And then the support for the community. It's just been wonderful.
Absolutely. So, since we're talking about the classes and stuff, I know, and this is where maybe we need to educate people, because I'm a little naive on this too. I know there was a notification about one of the classifications having to drop out this year. Kind of explain what that means in your terms as far as the racing goes, and what that means to the public.
No, and thank you for asking, because I wanted to bring that up, because I don't want anybody to be under any illusions. So we usually have 6 classes of closed course pylon racing, and they're the ones, as you say, they go around pylons, very fancy word, folks, for a very large telephone pole with a 55-gallon drum on top.
There you go.
each one for the different courses painted a different color combination so the pilots can make sure they're headed to the right one.
Those are directional, yes.
Exactly. By the way, if you're on the T6 course and that pylon isn't red and white, you're on the wrong course.
Then you're having a bad day.
So we've got the shortest course, a little over 4 miles, is the Formula and biplane course. And they're all coming. They're committed. Indeed, I just talked to both the class presidents over the weekend. They're excited.
Okay.
T6 group, I still head the T6 group. I had a board call with them yesterday. We're going to have 7 T6 racers, and our 8th plane will be the pace plane.
Okay.
So they're all set and coming. Then the jets at the fast end this year, the jets can run up to 525 miles an hour. And bear in mind that the only reason that it's only 525 right now is that's been the limitation based on the course we used to have and the initial course that we laid out here.
Okay. So they might be breaking that if
not this year.
No, but someone's going to try to push an envelope.
when the FAA says 525 and we say 525, it's 525.
That's the Bible.
I've learned it's not quite like running up 285, where I know that I drive along at 75 miles an hour and I'm being passed like I'm a tortoise.
Sure.
But so those 4 groups are committed. They're coming. Indeed, the Stoll group, I talked to them over the weekend. They're going to bring an extra 10 not Stoll drag aircraft, but more standard Stoll aircraft. They do short takeoff and landing demonstrations right in front of the grandstand. And I have to tell you, people are going to be amazed in how little space these planes need to lift off, go a little ways and land, and it's a lot of fun.
It is very cool. Based off my time in the military and seeing some of those aircrafts take off and do their things, these jocks know what they're doing, and they know how to. They do some pretty cool maneuvers in those planes, and like when you go to the air shows, when you see, like, if you've ever been to an air show and seen the maneuvers, these guys, this is what they do, and they're really skilled aircraft pilots, and this has been their whole life. Many of these guys are probably military vets, not all of them, but probably flew an F-4 or a F-16 or an A-10 or something at some point in their life.
Well, let me not skip over your first question, though, about the change in the lineup this year, and then come back to
I'm sorry, I got sidetracked.
No,
please, yes.
Well, it's one of my favorite stories about how I even got into air racing, and it really reinforces what you said. A good number of them are indeed ex-military. But so the two classes, we actually now have two. We put the announcement out Friday night. Stole about a month, sport class about a month ago. When we ran Pylon Racing School in May, the super sports, so the sport class is large enough they actually run on 3 different courses. They can run on the unlimited and the jet course. The long course, 10 miles, that's limited to 525. Now, the fastest sports have gone so far as some of those aircraft have broken 400, which is pretty amazing when you consider these are planes that, like Lancers, if you're a skilled home builder, and by the way, I am not. I admire these guys. You can actually get your Lancer kit. You can build up your own plane. Well, they start with that, and then they are not limited. They can do intercoolers. They can do nitrous oxide. They can do whatever they need within the limits, which is no more than 1,000 cubic inch engine up front.
Okay.
And so they've broken 400 miles an hour. They're extraordinarily impressive. They're beautiful planes. And when they're on the far side of the course, so that's about 3 miles out from the core runway, 1735, their concern was if they were to lose an engine at the apex of the course, they would have a hard time making it back to that hard surface.
Gotcha.
So I even knew at the end of May that we might lose the super sports this year while we work out a solution.
Gotcha.
The regular sports, which have their own course closer in, and then we call medallion sport, the polite term for the slowest of the sports, well, they fly on my course. They fly on the T6 course.
Okay.
So both of those, if they lose an engine, we did not anticipate a problem. But they had a list of things they needed to have done. Just to give your audience an insight into it. For example, because a third of the property is on airport land, but 2/3 is on the Brown Brothers Ranch. And the Holly Fields have just been amazing. But at the same time, along YO Road, I think it's called YO Road.
You know that area better, probably most people that live here now.
Well, I don't know. I'm coming to learn it more than I ever thought I would. But, so you had telephone poles along there. You had some wires that were crossing courses. And, sport guys and the Formula One biplanes said, look, any of the telephone or power lines that are running across the course, we've got to have those down. Any of them that are parallel to the course, we at least like marker balls on. So I got to give a shout out to XL Energy. They have just been amazing. The city did all the trenching under Mike Matthews' supervision, and then XL Energy came in, laid the new conduit, buried the lines, put up the marker balls. So a lot of the things they need to have done were done. Well, basically, Sport came to us about a month ago. We talked about them coming out and doing an inspection mid-August to make sure everything was. In the end, they came to me, and I say this politely and fondly because, look, I've worked with all these guys for years.
Sure.
Bob Mills, the class president. You boil his letter down back to me, and he said, when you get right down to it, Fred, I know you believe you're going to be able to get all this stuff done. And it was a long list. We don't. Not that I don't want to tell you, Fred, I don't trust you. I trust you.
Sure.
I believe you believe what you believe, but I'm not sure I believe it. So
everyone's got experience in this, and their experience is telling them different.
We're going to stand down, and as we said,
it's always better to err on the side of caution in these types of things. And so, I'm sure they were all anticipating, ready to go, but if the checklist in their mind isn't checked off, then you don't go, and that's what they're doing.
The good news on that is one of the things I will proudly do in about a week and a half when we're when we're virtually wrapped up, we will put out a detailed summary of everything that's been done. And frankly, so people can look at it and understand we're ready for next year. We still haven't solved the question of how these planes, because they have skinny tires. I fly T6s, mostly unlimiteds fly, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're battled, Goodyear tires. I was out on the ranch yesterday with the Hollyfields. We were out there basically killing the ant circles that are close to the pylons so the judges don't get nibbled on. But in the process, there are lots of areas of that ranch that I could easily put a T6 down if I had to. And I think the same would be true of unlimiteds, but I won't speak for them. But the sport class and the jet class, bear in mind, they have much thinner tires, narrower tires, I should say. And I would think it would be a little harder without a somewhat prepared surface. So we're working on that.
I don't know how these particular jet aircraft work, but based on my time in the military, jet aircraft are vacuum cleaners. They suck things up. And like if you ever spent time on a flight line in the United States military, you spent time FOD walking.
I was just going to say that.
And so jet aircraft are a little more sensitive to those types of things. So
now, interesting, the jet assessment, and we had seven of them here for Pylon Racing School. Their assessment, when they did their emergency landing exercises, just regular emergency exercises, their assessment, even as far side of the course, they'll have enough energy at that point that they could pull up and they could still make it back to 1.7 or 3.5. So they're not as concerned. Unfortunately, Mike, and just for those who didn't see the press release put out late Friday, unfortunately, we just got word from the Unlimiteds that they want to stand down this year. And the reason, they didn't put a specific reason, but I know a big part of their reason is many of them couldn't make PRS. So we had a plan that they were going to come starting this Thursday, the first Thursday in September, and do Friday, Saturday to get all of their course familiarization done, get certified, and be able to race.
Gotcha.
The FAA agreed. We agreed. They were in favor. Well, at the end of the day, they had a lengthy discussion, interestingly, just amongst the pilots, and they just came to the conclusion that between the fact that there are short hotel rooms and a whole bunch of other things, they too are taking a pause.
Gotcha.
Now, you can read my press release, and we put out an e-blast. The reality is, say the least, I'm disappointed because unlimited air racing was what started up in 1964. So they were at the core of the storied 59 years of racing we have. So to lose them for a year, and they're committed to being back next year, lose them for a year is quite sad.
Gotcha.
That having been said, we rapidly went to work on filling in the unlimited space.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pleased to say we've got 3 former racers, one flown by a good friend of mine. He flies a beautiful Corsair for all those fans out there. Remember Baba Black Sheep?
Oh, yeah.
Those bent wing Corsairs,
Mm-hmm.
they're just gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
So he flies that as a tribute to the Korean War veterans and heroes. And then Bunny and Pretty Polly, 2 planes, one P-63, one P-51, will be out here. And then conjunction with the Commemorative Air Force, I haven't got the final lineup, but we've got, well, I'll let the possible cat out of the bag. If I don't succeed in the next 2 days, I'll eat my words. But, as you well know, Walker Airfield was a base for a long time, then a SAC base.
Mm-hmm.
And, their last big planes here were the B-52.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to get a B-52 flyby. But if CAF is able to pull it off, they're going to be bringing their B-29.
Oh, that would be
and
cool.
And the B-29 was based here at one time, and
it was here home for a while. And
they'll actually be able to do rides for people who've never been in a
B-29.
B-29.
That would be cool.
Now, I warned fans, B-29 rides are not inexpensive. It doesn't go to rah-rah. It will all go to the Commemorative Air Force. It helps keep these birds flying.
Yeah.
And trust me, it doesn't cover all the cost, folks, but it does defray the expense.
And it's such a unique experience compared to flying in, say, a modern aircraft of today,
Well, you're flying in a piece of history.
Yeah.
You're flying in the aircraft that dropped the bomb over Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And while some people, still shirk from talking about that, I believe the original analysis was it probably saved 1 million American lives as a result. So,
absolutely.
And knock on wood, we have not had an economic problem since then. And, you and I grew up in the duck and cover era. And,
yeah.
We look back on that and say all that would have done is change the shape of the shadow on the floor.
Get under this desk.
Yeah. So the long and the short of it is, for all of the fans who are really interested and love World War II aircraft like I do, trust me, you're going to be able to still see and interface with a number of the racers that are bringing their former race planes here, and you're going to be able to see a number of World War II aircraft, which we'll put, if they do rise, we'll put them out in the military section where they belong, and there's going to be a lot here for everybody. We're just super excited.
It is very good. Get your tickets now, please. airrace.org is probably the best way to get your tickets and get everything situated so you're ready to roll when we get going here that first week of September.
It is, but just to make sure everybody's within your radio distance, the reality is you're within drive time. You can walk up, you can drive in, find a place to park, and you can buy your tickets on the spot.
Sure.
You don't have to buy in advance, trust me.
If you like to plan, I'm a kind of a planner,
I'm a planner too, and I like to know I have everything in place. But at the same time, I just want to make sure nobody thinks that if they didn't buy it in advance, they can't come see the race.
If you have an itch one day and say, "Let's go check out the races," then hop in your car and head on down to the base.
Yeah, you wake up Friday morning and you say, I have a free day today. I want to go see some airplanes. The other thing I'd just like to share with everybody, look, I make no bones about it. I'm a former racer. I stopped racing myself in 2012 after a decade, T6s. I'm still a T6 pilot. And while keeping this iconic event alive is my mission, easily, I think it's going to take me 3-4 years to be here to see it fully established. That's my plan. That's why I bought a house here and becoming part of this community.
You're becoming New Mexico-ified.
Well, as I say, I bought a house, I bought a car, I've got my Mexico license plate with the green and red peppers on it.
There you go.
That was the one that was most appropriate for me. And but the point I want to make is while racing is our number one mission, I want to just take a moment to remind everybody about the other things that are important. We have all these freedoms in this world because of everything we do in our military in America for the people every year. And these folks, as you did, serve day in and day out for whatever term they wish to stay in the military. Some make it a career. Some, do what their minimum service requirement is. But the reality is, regardless of which branch of the service, without them being there, we would not have the influence, the force, and the protection which keeps us free in this country. So the second most important part of our mission is honoring our military. And so we're getting support from Holloman, Cannon, and we may even have some people down from Kirkland. So Friday is Military Day. All military, they're out there. You're free to come all day long. Friend and I adopted something we did in Oshkosh years ago. We do military veterans hats. I don't know how many. We think we did 2,000 this year. So it's our small way of just recognizing everybody that serves and thanking you for your service. So that's Military Day. We'll probably have a swearing-in ceremony as part of our opening ceremonies.
Cool.
And it's just, we're also working on a couple of flybys. We think we might be getting a 2-ship F-16 flyby.
Oh, great.
Because, as you understand, a lot of this equipment's either in active service in training or in operational support.
Oh, yeah.
So we won't know till the last minute exactly what we get for flybys. But,
air shows and things of that nature are a distant second in terms of availability.
And they have to be for obvious reasons. Yeah. So Military Day is really important. The third part of our mission, though, is STEM education. And our STEM education program is here. Reza Karmuz, who manages it in conjunction with Jennifer Cole and other people here in your city community. We're expecting 9,000 kids to be out there between Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The schools are helping with the busing program. Roswell's actually got parent-teacher conferences, I understand, going on Friday. So we may not get as many kids from the Roswell area, but the outlying districts are all coming in and supporting it. But on top of that, one of the logical things is if you get people interested in aviation, as you know, it's not easy to break in. You know, unlike when I got a license over 54 years ago. Come September 2nd, 54 years ago, I received my pilot's license.
Seems like it's yesterday, doesn't it?
Some days.
Yes. And some days not so much.
Other days it's a distant memory. But the reality is, in my day, I was able to get that with a good summer job. You can't do that anymore. So we have 20 scholarships that are going to be released soon. 15 are for flight training. Because we don't have the flight training capacity here, I'm meeting with one of the key instructors later this week because there'll be 5 $10,000 scholarships granted here.
That's amazing.
5 of them will be still back in Reno because they also support us with their license plate program.
Absolutely.
And 5 of them are actually under the tutelage of racers.
Okay.
They're spread around the country. But for me, the most exciting thing is in conjunction with the university, and Dr. Powell has been fabulous to work with, we're going to have 5 AMP scholarships, $10,000 each, to support many of the other expenses they have to bear to get their AMP working in the university program. So
that's great.
That's a brand new segment of this program that Bobby Thompson and I are funding ourselves, and we're just head over heels happy. It's one way to contribute to the community, and so
that's all I know. And I can tell you right now, the only other way I know of getting your AMP cheaper is raising your arm and signing up with Uncle Sam.
Exactly. Yeah. If you want to go the hard knock school to get your college education or get a skill, join the military.
That's
because it's you're exactly right. And I think people often don't appreciate the extent to which military training and experience not only serves people well, no matter what career they're in, but it does provide them a base and skills in certain areas that are incredibly transferable. So
absolutely, this is great that this is going on and seeing. And I'm telling you right now, and I've talked with Dr. Powell. I think I talked to you about this. That let's face it, it doesn't take an expert to see how much our airline industry overall is hurting for qualified people right now, from pilots to the mechanics to ticketing to every aspect of the industry is having a downfall in people. And you're seeing stuff almost on a weekly basis about some near miss at some airport or something like that. And so we need this next generation to embrace this industry and train and do this. So the next generation of because guess there's going to be more of airplanes and more, not less, in the world to come, and we need people that are qualified to do this stuff.
And as every pilot knows, it doesn't matter whether you're military or civilian. I get in my aircraft. I do the pre-flight, no question about it. But I fundamentally am making the understanding that, look, the appropriate maintenance and support and service bulletins have all been completed correctly. We, as pilots like to say, we don't get to do the fun stuff we do without a cadre of people behind us.
Yes.
And in the military, as you know, for every pilot up there, I think there are close to 4 to 5 maintenance and support personnel to be able to make that happen. And it may well be the numbers are even higher, particularly on aircraft carriers. I don't know the facts, but the reality is you're exactly right. Not only do we need more pilots, but we also need more maintenance men, mechanics, air traffic controllers. All of these are exceptionally well-paying jobs. Some of them, I freely admit, air traffic control is a stressful job. There's especially if you're in New York, Chicago, L.A., or any of the major centers.
Sure.
But the reality is we can't keep our air system, our traffic system, without people trained to do this. So in any event,
inspire the next generation of that.
Our goal is to inspire people to say, look, there's a really fascinating opportunity and career in aviation. And if you don't want to make it a career, it's also just a wonderful skill to add to your family's enjoyment.
Well, you know what? You don't have to drive 3 hours for lunch if you have your own pilot's license. You hop in the plane and you could be in Albuquerque in an hour or less.
I was when I had my aircraft out here, we had to go up to Santa Fe, fortunately, to work with the legislature and see a number of the key secretaries, and it's been wonderful. Well, I've discovered that that's a 3-hour drive Now, I understand the way some people drive. It's not 3 hours to Santa Fe, but it's 3 for me. But the reality that I enjoyed was a couple of times I had the plane here and was able to fly up. So it's either 3 hours drive or about an hour and 5-minute flight time by the time I take off and land and pack it away. So, yeah, I'd much rather fly.
Yeah, but see, well, even still, you got to fly. At the end of the day, I mean, yeah, I had to pack this up, do all this, but you get to fly. You know what I mean? And that's way cooler than driving. I don't care what everybody says.
Up front in the airplanes, they say it's the best seat in the house. But in any event, it's so we hope everybody comes out. There's going to be something for everybody. But I will be very clear. Look, some people have said you guys should have waited 2 years. My concern was we stood down for a year from racing. You know, all of our race teams, look, these are
You don't want to lose the interest.
Yeah, these are volunteers. These are owners and pilots who fly and race because they love it. And I just thought it was unfair to ask them to go 2 years. The only time they'd gone a year in the past, well, there are 2 times. One, when 9/11 happened, we were all out there. That was going to be my rookie year. And, well, that brings me back to, what are the pilots? So way back when, I was a spectator in 85. So I'll warn all of you come as spectators. This story might happen to you. And I was there for 14 so years. In the late 90s, I looked at my wife and I said, I'd like to do that. And she said, do what? Well, I'd like to fly those T6s. Well, unfortunately, she died 11 months ago, come September 2nd a year. Right. But the reality is, if she were here today, she'd say, well, after I picked myself up the floor laughing my ass off, I turned to my husband and I said, well, that is among the dumbest ideas you've ever had. And I looked at her and said, well, why? Well, she was an engineer by training. You can bet she had her arguments lined up.
She probably a lot.
You're not ex-military. You're not former crop duster. You have very little tail wheel time. Do I need to go on? I said, well, I'm still young. I was in my 40s. I can learn. Well, she supported me, but you're right. A good deal of our pilots, particularly, and not just in the jets or the unlimiteds, but a good number of them even in Formula and sport. Greenemeyer, basically raced almost every class we had. So the reality is lots of them are military, particularly in the T6 group, an enormous number of crop dusters.
Sure.
And my wife was right. I wasn't any of this. So when I showed up for Pylon Racing School, they weren't quite sure what to do with this, guy who came out of the corporate world. So in any event, that's a story for a different day. But I did it. 2001 would have been my rookie year. I qualified on the 10th and then September 11th. So that was 1 year that we couldn't race, but we were all there and ready. And the only other was COVID. 2020 wiped us out. So everybody is pulling together to make this happen. This will be a transition year.
Sure.
There's going to be lots of burbles and bubbles.
We're going to learn a lot of lessons this one, but you know what? It's going to grow and get better, and I'm going to give it a few years. It'll be a well-oiled machine at some point here.
Well, I'm counting on that, and honestly, Mike, that's the reason I wanted to stay here a minimum 3-4 years and get this thing firmly established.
And the potential it could be, and what it could, as we get more people interested in more racers and more people spotlighting the sport, I think this is it's a great opportunity not only for the air races but for Roswell as a community, and we're
excited.
excited.
For all of southeastern New Mexico and West Texas, I think it's going to help a lot. The other thing is because we moved from Reno, so a lot of people in the East and the Midwest. I mean, I would fly my plane from Florida, both of them, but lots of people don't like to take their plane over the Rockies. So we're looking at the geography and saying, I'm hoping that over the next few years we draw a lot more pilots and fans from the Midwest and the East who weren't necessarily all that interested in flying all the way to Reno.
It's getting a bigger spotlight.
Exactly. So we think this is a great opportunity for the area, the whole region, and we're just delighted to be here.
So please come meet the community. Come, this week, if you can spend every day, awesome. If it's one day, awesome. Whatever it is, we'd love to have you. We're 24 days, I think you said officially, from the start of the Roswell National Championship air races here in Roswell, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Airrace.org. You can study that up, watch videos, see the different classifications. See it. So by the time the week hits, you're the guy that explains everybody. See what they're doing here is they're going.
And the program gives a lot of detail, and it'll list all the pilots we have registered. So
And bring the family, bring the kids, bring everybody. I guarantee the kids are gonna be blown away.
And if your kids are school age and they're part of the group that's coming out for the STEM program, they all get in free over the weekend. Now you have to buy a ticket to come with them, but if they enjoy it and they're excited, they might be the ones to say, "Come on, Mom, come on, Dad, let's go out and see some more airplanes."
That's right.
But the reality is, please come visit us, stay with us. And we're just so excited, and for the fans that are within earshot, please understand there's so much more to see in southeastern New Mexico than most people who haven't visited understand. Lots of people have heard about Carlsbad Caverns. Very few have seen it. I mean, I've been to Luray Caverns in the east, and they're fabulous, but
they're not even close.
I can't wait to get down to Carlsbad.
I grew up in the D.C. area and been to Luray before.
Yeah,
and,
okay, you know.
And it is cool. It ain't Carlsbad Caverns cool.
Yeah.
I mean, where you got rooms, you're like, oh, you can stand in this room. And in Carlsbad, you're like, I could have a concert in this room.
Well, and if you like art and you're interested in government, there's Santa Fe,
Absolutely.
The reality is there is so much, and for the World
Billy
War
the Kid just right up, hop, skipping a jump from here,
and the World War II in history, peoples, Alamogordo, White Sands. In any event, there is Los Alamos. The reality is there's a lot more in New Mexico than I think the vast majority of people in the United States understand.
Yeah.
And part of what I'm excited about in all of our material that we get out to our fans is to remind them that while they enjoyed Reno and they enjoyed Lake Tahoe, and those are all fabulous, don't sell New Mexico short. There's far more here than you've ever appreciated.
And then once you get the green chili in you, then you're hooked.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
just what it is.
Yeah. A burger without green chili just ain't a burger anymore.
That's right. Now you're getting tainted. That's what happens.
Yeah. Green chili stew, just increasingly is my best go-to luncheon option.
Yeah. Not to mention, it helps with congestion, too, if you eat enough.
True. That's true.
When the allergies hit, some green chili will take care of that real quick.
So September 10th through 14th,
Absolutely.
Please come out and see us. We're going to have temporary grandstands this year after the races. The new permanent ones will be put up. But from everybody from the mayor on down, I've never seen a mayor who's more community-oriented than Mayor Jennings. And the one thing he and I rapidly understood we both had a bias about is that airfield is an underappreciated, underutilized asset.
It is.
And if we can use that to increase the flow-through of kids becoming A&P or getting interested in flying, if we can get a flight school back here in Roswell, we can begin to get aviation to grow again here. And that's,
we could be a mini Mecca for that type of thing.
Beyond the races, that's my goal. And, some people say on my board, well, Fred, it's outside our wheelhouse. And I said, no, it's not, because that's our last part of our mission, supporting the community and making the community stronger, which is what the mayor and the council want to do. Yeah. That's what makes this partnership so great.
Well, we appreciate your being here. We're glad you picked us, and we're very excited to see our first dance here in a couple weeks.
Well, I can't thank you enough for inviting me, Mike, and having me on your show. And
anytime.
Thank you for your service.
And thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Anything else we can do, and anytime we can help out or come on to do anything to get word out, please don't hesitate to reach out.
Well, if it works for you, September 2nd and 3rd, we'll be getting almost all the pilots who've got to be in by that point. If you want a last-minute update, just let me know, and I'll, you're just down the street from me.
Yeah, we're easy.
You're easy to find now, that I found you.
That's right. We can bribe them with a cup of coffee and a breakfast sandwich or something.
You take good care, Mike.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all.
Appreciate it. Fred Telling, CEO of the...
We begin in Chavez County with a disturbing story today. Authorities investigating the death of an infant child. The child's body was discovered in an area off Anita Road on Tuesday. An autopsy was scheduled for yesterday in Albuquerque, but the results have not yet been made public. The mother of the child has been detained by police, but it's not known if there has been an arrest in the case. The city of Carlsbad will host its third public meeting for the Carlsbad Comprehensive Plan on September 4th. The meeting from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Consensus Planning, the city's consultant, will be presenting the draft comprehensive plan, a 20-year framework for how Carlsbad should grow and develop. The plan addresses and includes goals, objectives, and strategies for housing and neighborhoods, as well as land use, economic development, infrastructure, transportation, community facilities and services, and hazard mitigation. You can read the plan yourself on the city's website, carlsbadcomprehensiveplan.com. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. We've been talking a lot of soccer lately. Hey, they're the ones that started first, and we've got more soccer today. Roswell boys soccer at Goddard starts at 4 o'clock. NMMI at Lovington tonight at 6. But you know what? We haven't talked about Roswell High volleyball. They were 22-3 last year, the 5th seed at the state tournament, upset by number 12 Sandia in 5 and then eliminated by Santa Fe. They had a lot of seniors last year. They do have some players that got in some kills as juniors. For instance, Adamaris Vega, 106 kills as a junior. Nevea Romero, 62 kills. But largely, the Coyotes are going to have to retool, and they will be getting started this Saturday at 2 o'clock against Los Lunas. That's how they opened the season last year, with a loss to Los Lunas before they reeled off 22 straight victories. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
Your home for Kim Commando in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
Focus on the family founder, Dr. James Dobson, has died. Dr. Dobson was a pillar of the evangelical community for decades and one of the best-known Christian broadcasters of all time. He was also an advisor to presidents, a best-selling author, and a trained psychologist. Gary Bauer of the James Dobson Family Institute says, quote, Dr. Dobson was a pioneer, a man of deep conviction whose voice shaped the way generations view family, faith, and culture, unquote. George Williams reporting. Dr. Dobson was 89. From Bermuda to coastal North Carolina, tropical storm conditions as Hurricane Erin works its way north along the east coast. It is a couple of 100 miles offshore, but its powerful wind field extends far beyond. Heavy surf advisories along the entire stretch of coast. Biden policies blamed by many Floridians for a deadly highway crash. An illegal immigrant trucker issued a commercial driver's license by California and Washington State is accused in the deaths of several people.
Former Florida State House Speaker Paul Renner says it all goes back to President Biden allowing millions of illegals to cross the border.
It will take many, many months and even years to get rid of.
And now President Trump is working with governors like Ron DeSantis to make good progress in deporting illegals.
But it unfortunately was too late in this instance, and we lost 3 Floridians in the process.
Renner was interviewed by the Salem Radio Network. Bob Agnew reporting.
The number of people in the U.S. illegally surged to an all-time high, 14 million in 2023. That's according to the Pew Research Center, although President Trump says he believes the number is actually higher than that. On Wall Street, stocks are in the red this morning. The Dow is down more than 130 points. The Nasdaq off 34. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Walmart recalling its Great Value brand frozen shrimp because it could be radioactive.
The contamination was found in shipping containers and a sample of breaded shrimp, which were processed by a company doing business as BMS Foods of Indonesia. U.S. Customs and Border Protection officials alerted the FDA that they found cesium-137 in shipping containers sent to U.S. ports in Los Angeles, Houston, Miami, and Savannah, Georgia, which were denied entry into the U.S. The FDA then learned that Walmart has received potentially affected products imported after the first detection from shipments that did not trigger contamination alerts. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
10 starving cheetah cubs held in captivity for months and destined for international wildlife trade markets have been rescued in a breakaway region of Somalia. They're said to be in stable condition but are limping due to being in captivity for such a long time. Townhall.com. An Oregon man pleads guilty to 2 counts of second-degree manslaughter. This following a fatal crash with a softball team's bus.
Officials say Jonathan Dowdy has pled guilty to several counts of assault, 1 count of driving under the influence, and 1 count of driving with a suspended license. State police say Dowdy was driving his pickup last April when he crossed a center line and crashed into a bus loaded with 10 members of the Umpqua Community College softball team. A 19-year-old player and the team's head coach were killed. Jason Walker reporting.
Uganda has a deal with the U.S. to accept deported illegal aliens from America as long as they don't have criminal records and are not unaccompanied minors. But the Ugandan Foreign Affairs Ministry says some details of the agreement have yet to be finalized. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The tablet said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Trace in Viernos.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Thursday, everybody.
Ah, yes. The penultimate day of your work and or school week.
Yeah. No chances of rain now.
No.
Yeah, like we were getting the chances this afternoon, which I don't think it ever did.
Not really.
No.
Just it moved in some clouds and the wind was kind of picked up, which was nice.
But we're done till like, what did they tell me now? It was like beginning of next week, but is that still? Yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday. We got like a 50% Tuesday night Wednesday.
Come Tuesday?
Whoa.
I love that idea.
Our high is 80 on Wednesday.
Wow.
With a 50% chance of rain.
Heck yeah. That's downright fall time. I guess somebody told Old Man Weather that football season was about to begin.
That's
so.
right.
Like, well, let's go ahead and turn off the heat.
I usually wait a couple weeks because those first Fridays,
yeah,
they're warm.
They can be a bit of a rough one.
Especially if the press box doesn't have air conditioning.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them don't.
Yeah.
They'll have heat, but no AC.
And everybody always tells me, oh, remember how much you complained about how hot it was when the wintertime when you're complaining about how cold. No. I won't be complaining. I'll be out there enjoying myself, bundled up appropriately to counteract the weather, because you can put layers on.
I'm going to complain regardless.
Yeah, well,
it's too hot, I will complain. It's too cold, I will also complain.
I'm the kind of guy that just wants it nice.
That's right.
I get that. But it's like I live in extremes. And the other part of it is, and I think part of this is being raised Baptist, I feel like if I'm cold on a day when it's going to be hot, I have no right to complain.
Yeah.
Because I should enjoy and embrace the cold that I'm experiencing, because later when I'm hot, I'll be thinking about that cold.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well.
Good old-fashioned guilt. That's why we can't have nice things.
Yeah. I just, Well, now it's my thing. I was telling you. Now I just eat something green chili, and then I'm cold like 15 minutes later.
Which that's a cool effect.
It's kind of cool.
That's an added little bonus.
It's of course. Then you got this sheen on your head.
Not only do you have a built-in Halloween costume every single year, you could just be Bruce Willis. You also get added green chili sheen.
Or Michael Chiklis, I guess.
Oh my gosh, chili sheen.
Chili sheen. Speaking of sheen, apparently there's a documentary coming out on one of the Netflixes or Hulu's
about Charlie
or Max. Yeah, but he's in it.
Oh,
like he's talking, and apparently from the commercial advertisement I heard, he does spill some beans.
Really? Okay.
Spill some tea for the modern kids.
Some tea.
Yeah.
Although it is interesting how things sort of like trickle out. Like 5 years ago, you'd have looked at somebody like 7 years ago, you'd have looked at somebody like a Corey Feldman and thought, that dude the cheese has slipped completely off his cracker.
Yeah.
But then all these little details start coming out, and you're like, he might have been more on the ball than I gave him credit for.
Maybe the cheese was yanked off the cracker.
Some of the stuff that happened on like the set of Lucas and some other stuff that's come out. It's interesting.
It is. It does put a different spin on a lot of the Corey movies from the 80s and 90s that were popular.
The part of the whole Corey's thing that bothers me more than anything else is that all this stuff started coming out after Haim died.
Yeah.
And Feldman had no problem throwing his buddy under the bus. Like if you go back and you watch A Tale of Two Coreys, pretty much the entirety of the movie, yes, technically they're both assaulted, but every assault that Corey Feldman experiences is like, it's kind of cool. I mean, I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying it's kind of cool. But then they just show Haim just being like walked off set to like some dude's dressing room. It's like, so he had no problem being like, well, yeah, I mean, I was assaulted too, but it was by a young lady and she took advantage of me when I wasn't ready for it.
The story's a little different.
Meanwhile, Haim's over here. He's just taking numbers.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, that feels wrong. And Haim's family's come out since then and been like, stop doing what you're doing.
Right.
You know, if you're going to do stuff like this, at least talk to us.
Right.
Let us be a part of it because you're telling your perspective of the story.
And it's not the whole story.
It ain't the whole story.
This is true. That's true in almost every case. But that's why it makes the Netflix documentary so much better 10 years later. And then you get both stories of it.
But then you go back to that 60 Minutes interview that he did where he talks about, and he was spot on, where he talks about the biggest problem in Hollywood is and was and always will be pedophilia. You know, and that's the biggest thing that nobody really talks about.
And that's always been that dark secret about Hollywood anyway.
Which is why I would be, if he's willing to be candid and forward, I think a Charlie Sheen documentary could open a lot of eyes and a lot of doors.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. It's kind of
how open is he gonna be allowed to be? Because I mean, there's bound to be people off set being like.
Well, I think he talks a lot about too, in the Tiger Blood years too, when he kind of cheese really went off the cracker there.
You mean the winning era?
Yes, all that stuff. So
God, it's so funny to me though that I don't think about that at all unless I'm at a snowy stand.
Yeah,
it's the only time I ever think about it because I'm like, do I want tiger's blood? And I'm like, do you guys have Adonis DNA?
Yeah, it's kind of different, but yeah, I remember, and it may be out. I remember seeing something. You know what it was? It was that Inside Edition show did a story about it last week, and I happened to catch it. I guess but I can't remember if it's like a Netflix one or a Max one, or it's gonna be one of the streaming services. It's a Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, it's gonna be Netflix.
Okay.
It looks like the upcoming 2025 documentary film, aka Charlie Sheen, revisits the actor's wild ride through fame and with unseen footage, and it stops there.
Okay. Well, allegedly, and I don't know, they could be just selling a movie too, but he kind of sounds like he does unleash details that may or may not be known at this point. But we'll see. It's probably one little thing, and it'll be all over it, and that'll be it. And it's probably going to be a nothing burger.
It's one of the, and you can also attest this to the fact that we live in an era where HIV and AIDS has sort of like gone off, and it had its moment, but now we've sort of moved on
Not
from
the
it.
epidemic it once
That
was.
when Charlie Sheen announced his diagnosis, several years ago, people were like, "Nah, it's fine. He just gets on the cocktail. He's fine."
People don't die from it anymore.
Yeah,
that's
it's not
the
a death.
difference.
It's not a death sentence.
That's the thing, before, like back when Magic Johnson was diagnosed, people died, and Magic defied it and is still with us.
That's a crazy era to go back. Like you look at the Magic, and it all happened in one clump. It was like Magic Johnson, Greg Louganis, it was all in one continuous thing.
Well, if I remember right, and this is my young brain, like Rock Hudson was like the first one that
I was just gonna say
like
Rock Hudson,
an A-list or a household name that was.
And I think
diagnosed
that was more for the shock of it all because like Rock Hudson was a man's man.
Well, yeah, he was like the leading man, ladies wound. It turned out it was all a facade.
Right.
As much as Hollywood is, it's all about making it look good.
Yep.
Anyway, let's shift to the real.
I will be interested to check out that documentary.
Oh, I'm going to watch it. Yeah, I wonder. Like Charlie's done Charlie to me before. He'll reel you in, and then, like, dang it, he got me.
He got me again. I think you'll know by like minute 40 if this is going to be like a legit thing or if he's just.
I'll still be there.
Yeah, right. Still waiting for that moment.
Yeah. Let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. We'll get you up to date with the weather and all that here in just a bit. And then shortly thereafter that, we'll have District Attorney Diana Luce join us here. I believe Justin Dominguez, lead investigator, will join us as well. And we'll have our monthly conversation with the DA's office here. Later on in the hour, we'll try to get you up to date with the news of the local variety, Wall Street Business Update, and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. But first, the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're in the low to mid 90s and it looks pretty good today. Lots of sunshine. High pressure is over our area. Clear and upper 60s for the overnight hours. We're expecting mid 90s with more sunshine on Friday. Clear Friday night, and then no big changes all the way through the upcoming weekend. We get sunshine Saturday and Sunday, afternoon highs both days, and the mid 90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 76 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 64%. Winds currently out of the north at 3 miles per hour. Sunny and 93 today. Winds will be out of the southeast at around 5 miles per hour. Skies will be clear tonight with an overnight low of 67 degrees. Southeast winds at around 5 miles per hour. Friday, sunny, 94 for a high. Southeast winds at 5 miles per hour. Friday night, clear, overnight low of 66 degrees. Southeast winds at around 5 miles per hour. And then for the weekend, sunny and 94 for Saturday. Winds out of the southeast at 5 miles per hour. Sunday, sunny skies. Once again, highs right around 94. And then Monday, sunny and 95. But like I was saying earlier, rain chances Tuesday night, we're looking at a 20% chance of rain. But by Wednesday of next week, we're looking at a 50% chance of rain. Highs only near 80. So some kind of front's coming through. I guess we'll learn more about that as we get a little closer to that event. All right, 9:17. We're going to take about a 4-minute break here, and then on the other side, we will have Dinah Luce join us as well. Also, Justin Dominguez and Gina, our DA dog lady, joining us as well. So all that next. Don't go away.
Hey Roswell, trade up to a new Ford or quality pre-owned vehicle for less during the final days of the summer clearance event at Roswell Ford. Right now, save big with clearance prices on new Fords with 0% APR and make no payments for 90 days. Your friends at Roswell Ford make upgrading to a new Ford or quality pre-owned vehicle for less super fun, super fast, and super easy. If you're making payments on your current vehicle and want out early, Roswell Ford will do whatever it takes to free you from your trade, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. Roswell Ford has partnered with more aggressive lenders that will push to approve your credit, even if it's less than perfect. Get huge American-made savings, more for your trade, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, because we'll do whatever it takes to make a deal. 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell. Call 575-623-3673 or online at roswellford.com. 0 APR for 48 months is $20.83 per thousand financed. Interest accrues from date of sale, subject to lender approval on select vehicles. Offers not combined.
Did you know almost 75% of the time we're replacing a roof, something totally weird or unexpected or bizarre happens? Jennifer here again from Trustmark Roofing, and I want you to know that we are always prepared for the unexpected. That's why we always have project superintendent on site at your home at all times to handle those weird, bizarre things as they pop up. Things like an unexpected layer of wood shake shingles under your shingles or rotted out decking boards, problems with flashing or ridges or missing supplies that somebody needs to chase down. These are the kinds of problems that normally grind the crews from other roofing companies to a halt and delay the project. But not with our super awesome superintendent there. He's equipped to handle any problem and keep the project moving along smoothly. Just one more way we do things better at Trustmark Roofing. If you have any roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
For the first time ever, the National Championship Air Races are touching down in Roswell, New Mexico. From September 10th through the 14th, witness the world's best pilots battle it out in the fastest motorsport on the planet. Vintage warbirds, cutting-edge jets, aerobatics, and family fun, all against the stunning New Mexico sky.
3, 2, 1.
Get your tickets now at airrace.org. Don't miss this high-octane spectacle.
It's too bad the Eastern New Mexico State Fair doesn't have a category for weeds, because with all the rain we've had, they'd be giving out lots of blue ribbons. Hi, this is Ben Manette from Roswell Seed Company. We have powerful products to get rid of the hardiest weeds, and most important, we can tell you exactly how and when to use them to get the job done. Yeah, this year's weeds are certainly impressive, but at least they're green.
Some wounds need expert care to heal properly. At Artesia General Hospital's Wound Care and Hyperbaric Medicine Center, we use advanced treatments like hyperbaric oxygen therapy to help chronic wounds heal faster. If you or a loved one has a wound that won't heal, call 575-736-8235 today and take the first step toward recovery.
Roswell, your used car dealership is here. Tate Branch Roswell. Come experience the Tate Branch difference. We've got a huge selection of quality used cars, trucks, and SUVs, all at great prices with big discounts happening right now. And here's the best part. Every single used vehicle comes with our lifetime powertrain warranty at no extra cost. It's all backed by friendly hometown customer service that puts you first every time. So don't wait. Head to Tate Branch Roswell, 2000 West 2nd Street, and drive home happy today. Tate Branch Roswell. Come experience the difference.
If you suffer from pogonophobia, you would not want to attend a party with the following people: Kenny Rogers, Santa Claus, Willie Nelson, the cast of Duck Dynasty, and 2/3 of ZZ Top. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in the studio this morning from the District Attorney's Office, of course, our District Attorney, Diana Luce, with us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Lead investigator, Justin Dominguez,
good morning.
As well. And the DA dog lady. Jeannie A., you're back with us, too. With our new recruit is with us as well.
That is correct.
He or she, I forgot that. He is a friendly dog. We've been hanging out here, so... You want to enter? Well, you all can't see her, but she's under the table.
So we have Chevy here. We got him in April.
Okay.
So he's still young. He's 2 years old, and he's taking over slowly for Beaumont and Kiki in our offices.
To be the lead dog here for all of the
for Chaves County.
Chaves County.
Yes,
here.
that's correct.
And for folks not familiar with that, which we'll get into more here. Of course, we've talked with you guys, all three of you, actually, quite a bit on the DA dogs here. This is a great program that really started right here in our judicial district here, the 5th District, and it's a great tool that allows your district attorneys to gather evidence and things when there's specifically cases that involve people. And a lot of the times these dogs will come into the room and be that calming force, just be there. Especially it's great when they have to interview children or, any victim really, but it really brings a sense of calmness, normalcy, something happy in a room and generally in situations that aren't very happy. And so these have been valuable tools for your DAs, for your investigators, and I know, and they get a lot of fun too, because they get to go to libraries and get kids read to them, and So it's not all work for them.
We missed doing that. We need to do that again. It was a lot of fun, but we missed doing that.
But that's what the DA dog. Now the thing here, and this is kind of where we'll transition in a second. This is all privately funded. The program for these dogs, it's very expensive to train these dogs. And how many does the district have right now? Like 4?
5.
5.
Yeah, we have because we have new ones.
That's right, a new one. That's right. Bowman's not retired yet.
No,
Bowman's still in the force here.
Yet, yeah.
So Chevy's number 5 here.
Number 5.
But it's a lot of money to train these, and this is something that we're starting to see in other. Now that people are getting the word out, we're seeing this in other districts and things like that. But it's not funded by any. Until our legislators in the roundhouse decide to put some funding toward this, which. It's kind of a no-brainer for me, but till that happens, we're really relying on people to fund this and support. That's why you see Gina and the dogs out at the county fair, or we're going to be whacking a golf ball around here pretty quick. And this is all to raise money for the DA dog program.
And we'll be selling salsa soon. We'll have a post up for selling our salsa too. So
Did Chevy make the salsa?
No, Chevy is nowhere near the salsa.
Just a consumer. Very good. But yes, coming up here on the 18th of October will be the golf tournament this year for the DA dogs here for the program, and so now's the time to sponsor, sign your teams up, get things going, because we already know August is done like next week, and October will be here like tomorrow. So.
Yes, it's gone by really, really quick. The summer went by fast.
Yeah. So sign up your teams. You guys have the skinny on the details of the shotgun starts and all that kind of stuff?
So it'll start at 9 o'clock on the 18th. It is at Nimmy's Golf Course, of course. This is going to be our third, so we're really excited about that.
Good deal.
We're going to have raffles and door prizes. There's going to be cash payouts, not normal for golf tournaments, I'm learning, but we're going to do cash payouts.
Well, I never heard anybody complain about cash.
No. Cash is good. Cash is really good. Like I said, we're going to have door prizes. We're going to have some good raffles. We've got a Sunday golf bag. We've got a Callaway driver. I'm not a golf person.
I'm not either.
And then we have
I've heard of both of those things, and they both sound good. So.
Cameron Scotty putter, and we're going to have a nice golf cart radio speaker.
Okay.
So we have that as from some
you can listen to the morning show where you're whacking the ball around.
And then we've got some sponsors that are already on board that have been really, really amazing. So we're really excited to have them back on board.
Well, we do appreciate them, and there's more opportunities, and really, everyone's going to have fun and eat food and whack golf balls, maybe win some cash here. Right. But really, at the end of the day, this program is really making differences in allowing cases to get solved.
Yes. And the cost of the dogs went up as of July 1 to $20,000 per dog. So it was about a $7,000 jump in price.
Worth more than me, Chevy.
Right. and they are worth it. They're very much worth it. And in fact, we had this week was my reminder, of the work that these guys do. We had somebody come in very, very nervous. And as soon as Chevy walked in, bubbly, cheerful.
You can't not but not like Chevy.
So it was amazing. It was a good reminder of what they do.
It's such a. Now I gotta ask, are you keeping Chevy full time too?
Yes.
So where do you sleep now? Now that you got Bo on.
I have the crate and they have the bed.
I got it. Because that's the folks that, like you said, you handle the dogs that call Chaves County home, each of the, Lee County, they got all their, another person like you that's the dog mom or dog dad there doing that. But that's yes, their day job is making sure these dogs do their day job, but it's a full-time job. You guys are their parents. You're the mom. Your family's their parents like these dogs are too. So this is kind of a family involvement for you guys, and I'm sure all the other dog moms and dads in the other counties.
We're lucky we have the 15 handlers. They each have to be trained and certified to handle our dogs, so we're very lucky there to hand off. But it is a 24/7. It's like having a toddler on a leash.
It's a cool job.
It is a cool job.
I'm a little jealous of you on that fact. I mean, it's kind of like your partner's a dog every day. That's pretty cool.
Sometimes you get attitude, but they don't talk back. So.
Well, sometimes I get attitude, so.
Right.
I'm just saying, Justin, like in your working the beat days. Did you ever have a desire to do canine?
No, when I worked for the New Mexico Department of Corrections, I supervised a couple of canine handlers in our intelligence unit. But understanding what those guys go through and that it is a commitment, a huge commitment.
Sure.
It just wasn't something that I was capable of setting aside time for.
To me, that'd be the cool part. Like if I went the law enforcement path, I'm like, I want a dog. I want to do the dog stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, that's my. But I'm.
Well, we're very fortunate. We have support from my person to my left here, the DA, that loves the program. So we're very fortunate we have that support.
How did this program start, Dan? Was it something that someone like Gina came to you and said, "Hey, this would be good," or how did this all conceptually happen?
No, it actually started when Janetta Hicks was district attorney, and I was doing cases. I was the chief deputy over in Lee County then, and so I was doing cases, and we were using the CASA of Lee County's dog, and the problem would be we would have the dog available, meet with our victim, be familiar, and then we would get to the day of trial, and the dog wasn't available.
It's got double duty.
So, and then the you could tell the difference, complete difference in a little child that thought the dog was going to be there with them, and then they're not. And so Janetta came up with the idea. We had grant funding that we could use at that time, and she's like, "What do you think?" And I'm like, "Hey, I'm all in. Just tell everybody else whatever else they wanted for that money. We're not doing it. We're going to invest in dogs," and that's where it began. And so I've been 100% on board since we started this, and then Gina started the foundation, which the nonprofit that lets them bring in the money, because we and other DAs have found this out too, that they think, oh, well, they can pay for things out of their budget. No, the state of New Mexico will not let you do that. No. You've got to pay for it's either donations from the food or the vet services or the grooming.
Money's earmarked for things, and there's
you got to have private funding, and so it's work just doing the fundraising.
So let's talk. Yes, obviously, and so in the meantime, we need you to come and support golf tournaments and the events like this, and here in Chaves County and the other counties as well too here. But how do we the people get this to the next level where we're saying, why aren't our legislature talking about funding this permanently? Why isn't there something in the budget created to make this a line item that this is just part of every DA's office budget? They get whatever that number is, 100,000, 200,000, $1 million, whatever that number is, devoted directly to the DA dog program. I mean, what is it? Just blowing up our phones of our legislators, or what can we do?
So you guys can reach out. I mean, I would love for you guys to do that. A lot of it is this is. I mean, we've had it since 2014, but it's very, very new for a lot of district attorneys' offices, and you have the other side that's like, no, it's not needed. But until you see it in actual process and working, you don't understand the impact it has on people, not only office staff, but the victims and witnesses that come through, the court staff that you're working with. It makes everybody's day a little bit brighter. But if you don't see it, you don't believe it. And that's been a big issue for a lot of people. They're like, oh, it's just a dog. And it's like, no, it's
until
really
it is
not.
Yeah. It's a living thing that people tend to use as a great tool to deal with emotions, to deal with troubling things, and that's
the trauma and the stress of all of it. And sometimes it's just the stress of being in the location of the courthouse.
Yes.
So the naysayers, the ones out, are they literally just people that aren't basically attorneys and people? I mean, who are these people that are? Is it just other legislators?
It's just everybody in general that doesn't see the work that these guys do.
Surprised.
They don't understand. And I mean, even in the beginning when we had it, some of the people in our office were like, "This is a waste of money," blah blah blah. And then when they started seeing it, the light came on. But they have to see it. They have to understand. We just got to get the word out. Like, hey, this is what they're doing. This is what they're doing.
To me, it makes so much sense because I mean, let's look at kind of the scope of what you guys do every day is the law is very black and white. You either break a law or you don't break a law. That part is very black and white. But every single case of a law being broken, the severity of it or was the intent of it is all about emotion and human and understanding the id of a human being. And so anything any tools we have or anything that we can crack that nut a little bit to understand and to make people, that's a great tool. And because, look, yeah, we get it. Okay, a law was broken, someone was killed, whatever that is, but that's why we have the trial, because there's details. Maybe it was a justified killing. Maybe we don't. That's why we have the trial to determine that. And any tool that helps us get to the truth, because human beings lie. People lie. People, all this. But when you can get a dog in a room that really puts down barriers and lets people feel more comfortable about sharing things that they wouldn't be comfortable sharing, right, from all perspectives. I would even make an argument that if cops were in an interrogate room with a dog, there might be some headway you're making on that. I'm just saying, there's a possibility. The possibilities are there. You never know. Yeah. I'm just saying, but why not try it? It's certainly, and like you guys are saying, all we're seeing is nothing but success. Every time one of these dogs walk into the room, we're getting amazing results from that. I mean, how many more of these do we got to do before someone wakes up and says, hey, maybe there's something to this,
Well, and I think we're very lucky down here. We have a lot of support down in the southeast.
Yeah, I feel like I'm preaching to the choir a little bit on some of this.
So we have a lot of support down here. And like I said, and we've talked about as other DA's offices, that first, because the first year is not an easy task to get these dogs, incorporated into the courtroom.
Sure. There's a lot of lead-up work time on this. Yeah.
But it's a lot of extra work that you don't expect, that nobody says, oh, by the way, this is going to happen.
Sure.
So a lot of people are like our jobs are overwhelming anyway. And to add this on there, you have to have very special people that are willing to fight for it. And like I said, we have great support, and we've always had great support doing that.
Anytime you're changing ideology, which you kind of are, and you're basically reinventing the wheel a little bit here with some of the stuff we're talking about. And yeah, like you said, it's hard to get people to see it. And yes, but you're right. It takes a huge mindset, a financial set, a skill set to flip over to this ideology. But the results are showing us that it's worth it.
Yes.
That it is worth it. What we're doing before isn't working to the fullest it could be. This, we can add it to make all of our jobs better, to make our lives better, to make our victims get the results that they're hoping for. That's what this is all about at the end of the day.
And we have, I know that Santa Fe, Bernalillo, Rio Rancho.
Just the 12th still have one?
No, Rodrigo has retired. So there's 4 on Taos. There's us and then these other DA's offices that have dogs. We've been doing it longer the way we do it, so we're
got more experience.
More experience.
Yeah.
Well, and we definitely have commitment.
And commitment.
The
Sure.
people that work for us know they've taken on a huge commitment to be
They
one
bought
of
into the
the
program.
handlers.
Yeah.
And so that's why when Gina gets called by, the FBI to come because there's been a mass shooting somewhere and she travels, everybody's on board that she's going to take one dog and she's going to go, and they're going to fill in wherever else is needed
So you
with
guys
our
are doing
other
work
dogs.
for the feds too sometimes on some of these cases, huh?
Luckily, yes.
Good.
We did the Uvalde.
That's awesome.
And we did El Paso. We did that sentencing for the federal side. We've been able to do that. We've been called out here locally in the state of New Mexico for several incidents. School shootings, the library shooting in Clovis.
Is the work an advertisement of itself? Like, are other people, when you're doing these, seeing the results of these dogs and saying, hey,
yes,
maybe we should invest some more time and money into that? That seems to be working.
I really think that the other DA's offices have heard about us, or we've been loaned out, and they're like, we want this. So, and I'm always available for these other agencies if they have questions, because we have done it, we've been there, done it, and we can make it easier for them.
Sure.
So yes, I'm always a phone call. It's like, call me.
Great. I mean, and this is getting more philosophical. I think, just the roles that dogs serve in society, we're learning more and more. I mean, how many times do we see those videos on TikTok or YouTube of someone with having some kind of epileptic seizure or something? The dog senses it and gets on their meds before it gets too bad, or knows how to handle the person when they go into these seizures because the dog can sense. I mean, I mean, I think we're scratching the surface on how dogs and humans can partner in more and more of these types of tasks and things.
And working with Assistance Dogs of the West out of Santa Fe, they have learned what we want or what we need, so they match the dogs to us for what our job description is.
Sure. Yeah, because each dog's trained for specifically what they're, like your dogs aren't being trained like canine units that law enforcement use. No different than your dogs are trained to be calm around and be the calming force in a crazy situation generally. Where sometimes cop dogs or canine dogs are a little bit, their job's different.
Yeah, their job's different.
Yeah.
And our dogs, so Chevy and Beaumont were cross-trained for core facility and crisis response because they're the same, but they're different because in a crisis response, for the El Paso sentencing, there was probably 100 people that Beaumont dealt with.
Okay.
So, usually it's one-on-one or, small group, but for crisis response, it's a bigger group that these dogs,
Gotcha.
and it's, for some dogs, that's a little overwhelming.
Sure.
For people, it's overwhelming sometimes too.
So these dogs are better equipped to handle large crowds and things and
yes.
not feel uncomfortable
Correct.
or out of place. Gotcha.
Correct.
Yeah, makes sense. Complete sense. Because, it's funny. And that's the thing with, just weird story with dogs. And my father-in-law, years ago, he had just a beautiful yellow lab. She was a great dog. And he was training the dog to be a bird dog for hunting. Did all the retrieving, just spot on. Worked like gangbusters until the gun was introduced. And as soon as that noise hit, the dog freaked out and never turned. Amazing dog. Not a good bird dog, but right. That's what we're talking about here is, you gotta, okay, get the retrieving, got that down, but you put this ingredient into the situation, it changes the dog's training altogether.
Yes.
And so that's exactly what we're learning and finding out with stuff like that. So, but that's either way, this is why, this program is such, and this is why your office has really been pushing and fighting for more funding, more recognition for this program, because it's, you don't think of like breakthroughs coming out of a DA's office, but this really could be a breakthrough in how justice is done throughout because the way I see it, and I've said this to you guys 100 times, I think every district attorney's office in the United States of America should have at least a couple of these dogs available for situations.
Well, the state of New Mexico has got a high rate of facility dogs in place. Larger than a lot of states, which is number one for us for something positive.
Right.
So we're positive in that area, and we have a lot of people that are buying into the program. Okay. It's just a very expensive program.
What about federal funding? Is there avenues to get the feds to maybe chip in some funds on this kind of thing?
So the feds have their own crisis response dogs. They had two, and I got to meet them, and that's how I got involved with working with the agencies on these other incidents. But they fund their programs, and they just got, I want to say 2 dogs for the United States.
Okay.
So they're working more towards their dogs. I'm not sure about federal funding and how that would work.
I just didn't know. It's like, hey, get some congressmen. I'm just like, let's turn over rocks and find, because this is just, to me, it seems too important to delay on this stuff. This is, you want actual solutions to our crime problem in this country. This is actively one of them to fix that. We got, there's a whole lot of other problems, don't get me wrong, but this is one of those tools we can use to start fixing and so people don't get arrested and seeing trials 3 years later, all the things that we're dealing with, and the backlog that you guys have and all that, because there's not enough judges or attorneys or to do all this stuff. And so we got to find ways to fix all these things, and we're not going to solve all the problems overnight, but I feel like this is one problem that will make a dent into this, where cases are getting solved, that justice is being served, testimonies and things that were previously not getting collected are now a part of that court case. So our prosecutors can get convictions and things like that. Not to mention healing for these victims. I'm sure, depending on the natures of the crimes, there's going to be a long road to recovery. But guess what? Chevy laying at their feet is the start of that. They
really help. Like I said, this week was I get those reminders because every once in a while I'm like, well, maybe this isn't working, and then you get the reminders of people coming in and they sit on the floor, and a person that's just like saying, You get them; their voices start talking.
Yeah.
You probably see it more than that, but
Yeah.
they actually have a voice, and it's so nice to hear when they get these dogs. And like I said, I've been doing this since 2014, and we can go downstairs and we throw the ball up with all the employees and stuff. So it's a good for the employees to have some fun too.
Absolutely.
I can't imagine the office not having a dog.
I would
It'd
imagine.
be weird.
Yeah, your own employees probably are a little more chipper when one of the dogs are hanging out in the office there and getting into things.
Well, it's definitely helps with stress and trauma
Sure.
for our own staff because they know they can come and they can ask if Chevy's not working or Beaumont's not working right now or Kiki's not working. Can they in the Roswell office? Can they come and hug them and pet them?
roll around the floor with the dog for a minute.
And like you said, we're like every state agency involved in the justice system. Nobody has enough people or enough funding, and so everybody feels that crunch. And if these dogs can help make their day better, and then we move forward, trying to do what we're asked to do for our community, that's what it's all about.
Well, and I don't know, we just, we live in a world, and especially with you guys, like you said, your prosecutors, everybody's dealing with extremes, hard issues, sometimes the worst that humanity has to offer. You guys, that's what shows up on your lap sometimes. You know what I mean? And yes, the victims, we're trying to deal with that. Like you said, our staff, your people, this helps them process through some of this stuff too, because the things you guys see on a daily basis is not what most people would consider normal behavior. And so and so if we can find a way to crack all that, to go to bring humanity into justice. That's the part that, you guys try every day, and you're thinking, well, the humanity here is bringing that justice for that victim. But, we forget, the complete package of human beings. We love, all the emotions, the love, all that. And I don't know what it is about dogs, but they bring it out in everybody. That's what happens. The dog gets in a room, it's hard to be mad. It's like, it's I don't know, it's like an ice cream cone. You can't be mad at someone holding an ice cream cone. It's just really hard.
Chevy would tell you that I was a little upset yesterday when he walked in covered in mud. Well, okay, bath time.
He can still be a dog.
Yeah, he can still be a dog.
Yeah.
It's like,
But you know what? You're not as mad as if your kid did it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you had a teenage boy rolling all muddy, you'd be madder at them than the dog.
That's what it's like. Go take a shower. I was like, okay, let's go take a shower. Let's just go take a shower.
It is.
Let's go play in the water.
Our pets get away with murder. That's just what happens. Like, my cat could literally do anything. I'm like, stop it. That's all I got. Stop it. But that's why, and so please, we can start by signing up for the golf tournament here. Please. If you're a business or organization that would love to sponsor, please do so. This event, you're getting in with a noble cause, a just cause here with that ideally the more spotlight, the more money, the more attention we can bring to this program, the more cases we can get solved, the more victims we can help. And that's what this is all about. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm just saying, if you're recruiting and you're having trouble recruiting, you're like, you get a dog. I'm just saying, that's a selling point. What's one of the perks of the job? You get a dog.
We tell people, when we're interviewing that we have the dog program.
Yeah.
And people are intrigued by that because they don't expect that.
Yeah.
And so it's a positive. It really is a positive. I mean, we enjoy the Chevy and Beaumont and Kiki in the Roswell office as much as the people that they're to help, victims and witnesses. And so it really is a well-being for our office. And so when you talk about, should the legislature fund it? Should every DA's office have this ability? They should. And the reason is because it helps the overall well-being of the people that do this kind of work every day.
I'm trying to find the negative
help our victims and our witnesses.
Tell me the negative. What's the negative? I mean, expensive? Well, you know what? Everything's expensive.
Right.
things that are done good are expensive. That's just what it is.
There's really, to me, there's no negative as long as, and like I said, we have the support. I think if we didn't have the support, that would be the negative, because it's kind of like, okay, you promise this people that you have this dog, and then all of a sudden there's no funding.
Right.
You don't have a dog, and then it's another letdown.
Right.
That's our thing, is we don't want another letdown for these victims.
And at the end of the day, this is dealing with living things.
Yes.
You just don't shut this program down and they put things in a file cabinet and lock the door. These are animals with lives, and someone's still got to take care of them and provide for their lives, regardless whether there's a DA dog program or not. You know what I mean? And so there's different variables here, but this is it. This is a win-win. There's really no negative here. This is positive for every party involved, including and including the, like I'm saying, the offenders and things like that. Who knows? Dogs to get to them too, and next thing you know, change of heart, change of seeing that the dog shows them the grief, the severity of what they've been doing. I know it's weird. It sounds weird, but things like that happen. It's just, you'd be amazed at what triggers someone to say, I'm not doing things the right way, or I'm not, or this isn't supposed to be right. And dogs have an amazing ability to remind us the human side of things.
And if people can't make the golf tournament, of course, we're going to be at the fair. We always have our booth.
And usually the dogs throughout the week will be popping in and out depending on the dates and times.
They'll be there. There'll be one of our dogs, either Duke,
they make
Tina,
appearances.
Yeah, Tina, Beaumont, Kiki, Chevy will all be there on that Saturday.
Good deal.
But we'll have, for sure right now, we have a Dooney and Burke person wallet for a raffle for that. And then we're working on a couple of other raffles for the fair. But we'll have drinks and we'll have other things for sale just to kind of raise money. And, of course, we'll have our donation jar, so you guys can stop by.
If you want to keep a dog house in your dog, you fellas, maybe get in on that Dooney and Burke purse, and that'll keep you out of the dog house later. Especially if you told me to spend a bunch of money on a golf tournament. Well, I got you the purse, too.
Right? See? Look, it's a win-win for everybody.
Exactly. So, exactly. I don't know how to work the in here, but yeah, please come. And yes, please, when you're out at the fair here in a couple weeks, and again, that's a couple weeks, folks.
I know.
October, that first weekend of September will be here before you know it. Yes, come to the commercial building. Look for, you'll see it. They usually keep you all in the same spot every year.
I've had that spot.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even know how long we've had that spot. We've had the same spot.
She's got her initials in I'm just kidding.
It's painted on the floor. Somebody else will take it.
This is the dog spot. But we have that. And then our Facebook page for the salsa, they'll have that announcement out too.
Good deal.
I think it's DA Dogs Facebook page.
Okay.
So we'll have our salsa sale post on there.
So is there one, I'm curious, is there one person that's like the salsa person that makes all, is it you? Is there some vault with a recipe and it's like...
I have the recipe and it's just an easy recipe and all the handlers come in and help, and we have a lot of our board members that'll help.
Okay.
So it's
it's not like a secret. So,
no, they kind of know.
Okay.
And if they don't do it right, then it's like,
I didn't know if it was like a lock and key thing, and maybe Beaumont's retiring, but that he's in charge of the closet where the recipe is.
We have it. Everybody kind of knows what's in it. So, but they've been sworn to secrecy. So.
Very good. Needless to say, when you guys have gatherings, there's always salsa, right?
Usually.
Somebody will ask, where was the salsa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and we do the three types, hot, medium, and mild, because for a while there it was just one, and it's like, but it's hot. And I was like, okay, we'll tone it down.
If you live in New Mexico, hot's a relative term.
Well, some people have almost choked to death on my salsa.
Yeah.
So.
Well, but I literally, it's not hot. And I'm like, I got fire shooting out of my ears. Tell me it's not hot.
Yes. Yeah.
Or I've had other people, oh my gosh, is it hot? And I'm like, okay.
Well, I've had people ask to make extra hot.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, okay.
If I'm just tasting hot, I'm out. You know what I mean? I'm like, I want taste other than hot.
We make it to everybody's flavor. So.
But I know there's people that, I don't know if they just got lead between their stomach and their esophagus that just, I don't know.
I'm one of those.
Oh, man.
I'm one of those.
It's like, oh, yeah, I eat Tums is a part of my...
I was probably one of the people that said, "Can you make something that's not just hot?"
Well, when I guess we made one time, and we were sitting down, and she got a jalapeno, and it was like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I felt bad for her.
Yeah, they were like, "It's not hot." I'm like, "Yeah."
Okay. I hate to see what you think's hot.
I'm like, "Okay, I'm not having salsa today."
All right. And in all fairness, though, jalapeno hot is not the same as green chili hot.
No.
You know what I mean?
No,
it's different.
Jalapeno hot's more in your face.
Yeah.
Where green chili hot's the best green chili is the one where you're not even realizing it's hot till you're about halfway through it and you're covered in sweat and you're like, oh man, that's hot. That's good green chili right there when you get through it. So, but yes, so look for the salsa soon.
And we do it in Chavez, Eddy, and Lee County, so.
Good deal. So will it be available at the fair or by fair time?
No,
Okay.
we won't be able to sell it at the fair. There's certain rules and regs
Oh,
and
yeah,
all of
that
that.
makes
But
sense.
we're trying to shoot for football, first part of football
Okay.
season, so we have it. But
See, the move is, if they could let you do that, set up right next to the 4-H ice cream shop.
No.
So
good idea.
you can both help each other out on
Right.
business there.
Taste this and then go next door.
Exactly.
If it's too hot, we can help.
Exactly. It's win-win. We can, everyone. It's called marketing. Let's do this. But again, folks, please sign up for the golf tournament. I guess you can sign up probably at the pro shop at NMMI if you want to participate in the golf tournament. It's a shotgun start, 3-person scramble.
Correct.
Like you said, cash prizes here for this one. Still looking for sponsors.
Yes.
Still looking for teams. If you have a group of 3, you can sign up. But if you don't, the pro
If you
usually
have a group of 6, we take you too.
That's right. But then there's 2 teams, and now y'all can bragging rights.
Right.
Bragging rights. So, and then of course, please come. And of course, I'm going to take a stab that the celebrities of the tournament, the dogs will be wandering around at various things. Are they good at like retrieving balls and things like that?
We have not let them do that because I'm afraid they're going to swallow.
Well,
the
they are
things.
trained professionals, and that's meandering task
Right.
for these dogs. This is too big. These got bigger, more important things to do. So. Dan, is there anything before we go that you wanted to mention that we wanted to talk about? I know we've been spending most of the time on the DA dogs here, but
Let's talk a little bit about juvenile justice.
Yes.
I've kind of been doing the media tour on that. So there's been a lot of things in the media statewide regarding juvenile justice
Yes.
and doing something different than what we're doing. Not having enough juvenile detention centers around the state. Who's going to pay for that? Are they going to ask the counties to come back in and put that money up, or is the state going to put the money in and do regional?
That's always a big question. Who's going to pay for it, right?
Who's going to pay for it?
Yeah.
And then we got to do something different with the violent crime. We need to look at different charges of how we can prosecute a juvenile as an adult, and not keep doing what we've been doing because life and times have changed. And juveniles are, I talked a little bit about Benny's Law recently, that I understand the purpose of that law, and that's to make everybody that's a gun owner be safe with your firearms.
Sure.
But that's not going to keep juveniles from getting guns and committing crimes, and they're getting them off the street. There are apps out there that maybe I think the feds are working to see if they can help shut some of those down.
Sure.
Where they buy and trade guns, and so if people don't know that,
Sure.
we're being the voice. We're still in the process of finishing sentencing on what we sadly refer to as the Cahoon Park shooting, and so the more we can put this in the forefront of the public, for them to know that there's got to be real change, and why these laws get up there in Santa Fe and they don't go anywhere.
There's laws. Well, there's laws that get political attention, and there's laws that make a difference. And unfortunately, the laws that get political attention get passed that have no teeth or no real substance to them, but they sound good on a piece of paper, and it sounds like a politician's doing their job. But in reality, it's not no teeth. It doesn't really give you guys any tools to do anything, or any protections or anything like that. So, and that's what, and this is where maybe that, I don't want to get into politics and everything, but the governor's trying to get the legislator to do this, legislator to do this. And I think that's part of what, we have some legislators that want real teeth in some of this, and others that are, for whatever reason, not ready to pull the trigger on some of that. And so that's why you guys are out here trying to say, look, we got to get help. We need some real laws that have real teeth, that have real consequences, that give our DAs the tools to go and make sure justice is served for people here, and not go after laws that go after frivolous or things that don't solve the problem.
Mhm.
Like you're saying, we can create a law that in theory sounds like it's going to protect something, but if you don't enforce it, if you don't give it the support financially or whatever it is to back it, it's moot point. And so that's kind of what you're talking about here. Let's actually do laws that are actually going to fix things instead of get someone reelected. I said it a lot less nicer than she did. But in essence, that's what we're talking about here.
That's what we're talking about. Yeah. Because we spend a lot we're just seeing the rise in juvenile violent crime.
Yes.
And I don't see that changing. And so New Mexico's got to shift its course. And so all your wonderful listeners out there, I know that they just want to live in a safe community and live their daily lives. So we want that too. And so whatever anybody can do to reach out and make a phone call or an email or, whatever it is to help do that. But we're fighting for change and for what's right.
Absolutely. So please come to the meetings when they have public forums. I know like the Federated Republic of Women, they meet every month. Go to these kinds of meetings and things like that. Hear what's going on. We're believe it or not, I know it's August and all that, but we'll be talking legislative session here in a minute. and pay attention to these things. Talk to your representatives. Tell them give them emails. Stack, because I know like our ones here, they tell me all the time, if you want to help us fight in Santa Fe, send us correspondence. So when I go in there and they say, look, I've got 1,000 emails from my constituents saying this is a problem in our community, that gives them the backing to fight up in Santa Fe, especially when they're outgunned and outnumbered. When they are outnumbered, data from their constituents is their best weapon. So that's what they need. So please help them do that. So is there anything else? Did we kind of get it all? Or Justin, anything from your end we wanted to cover?
No, sir.
Good deal. He's like, I'm just here to look pretty.
Justin's just being all quiet today.
There to chew gum and look pretty, and I'm all out of gum. Just kidding. Very good. Well, thank you guys so much. Thank you for visiting. I love that we get to have these conversations with you guys every month. Appreciate that. And
thank you.
And thank you for the hard work. And I hope you guys do find on those days that really suck and you're really ready to throw your hands up, I do hope you find those things that remind you to say, no, it's worth it. We keep going.
We do. There's daily reminders.
Chevy, that's your job, dude.
Chevy's taking a nap.
Chevy's like, I'm on break. Where's my bone? Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time.
Well, thank you.
Stay cool, dry, whatever's coming up next. It's New Mexico. All right, it is 10 o'clock. That's going to do it for us. Have an amazing day. We'll be back bright and early, 7 a.m. tomorrow. Take care, everybody. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk.